Welcome to the Wild Card Boxing Club here in Hollywood, California. As we get set for the Manny Pacquiao workout as we prepare for Pacquiao and Broner next Saturday live on Showtime pay-per-view. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Ray Flores alongside Mike Coppinger as we are here in Hollywood, California, getting set to witness the 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao work out for the media here in Hollywood. And, Mike, there's a lot of energy. Manny Pacquiao back on U.S. soil to fight for the first time in 2 years. And lo and behold, the Filipino senator is focused and ready to make another statement.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Manny Pacquiao's first fight in over 2 years. The last time we saw him in the U.S., he fought Jesse Vargas, won a 12-round decision. And, you know, in July, he got his first knockout in almost 10 years against Lucas Matisse. Even at 40 years old, Manny Pacquiao is ready to take on the biggest challenges in the sport, starting with Adrien Broner. I can't wait. It's the first big fight of 2019.
Well, Mike, it is going to be electric at the MGM Grand Garden Arena next Saturday, January 19th, live on Showtime pay-per-view. It is the fourth time that Manny Pacquiao is on Showtime pay-per-view. Now we have Pacquiao and Broner. Manny Pacquiao will be here. Adrien Broner, however, will not be here. He elected to not come to the Wild Card Boxing Club, which is the home for Manny Pacquiao when he trains here in the United States. Instead, Broner is going to be working out for the media, which we will not stream later on this afternoon here in Los Angeles. And, Mike, what are your thoughts on Adrien Broner not coming here to the home gym of Manny Pacquiao?
I'm disappointed that Broner is not pulling his weight on this side of the promotion. He's here for his marketability more than his victories or his recent ring success. And he's the American. We need him talking, doing his shtick. He's a funny guy. He's one of the most marketable fighters in the sport, and I wish we had him here.
Well, you mentioned that name in Jesse Vargas, Adrien Broner coming off of a draw that you watched on Showtime Championship Boxing last April. And for Broner, he's 3-2-1 in his last 6 fights. But now, once again, he gets another big opportunity. For Broner, how important is it for him to finally get this signature victory? Because, Mike, in my opinion, Broner does not have that signature victory over an elite fighter. Can he get it next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view?
I totally agree with you, Ray. Adrien Broner is still searching for that victory at 29 years old. He's here more for his marketability. And no, I'm picking Manny Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao, even at 40 years old, is too fast. His punch volume is too much for a guy like Adrien Broner, who elects to stand there and brace for punches and picks and chooses his spots. Adrien Broner is a counter puncher. He always wants to punch last. And if you're going to beat a Manny Pacquiao, you have to punch with him.
And don't forget, when it comes to Pacquiao and Broner next Saturday live on Showtime pay-per-view, check out All Access. The first episode was terrific. It debuted last Friday. All Access daily coming your way next week. Plenty of fun things to get to as we approach fight week. But here at the workouts, we are likely going to be joined alongside by the 8th Division World Champion in Manny Pacquiao. Also, we're going to have a word with Freddie Roach and potentially a conversation with Leonard Ellerbe. Why do we bring up Leonard Ellerbe, one of the heads of Mayweather Promotions? Well, yesterday at the Los Angeles Clippers basketball game, it was Filipino Heritage Night at the Staples Center. Manny Pacquiao was honored, and he went out, and also sitting courtside, lo and behold, Floyd Money Mayweather. Mike, do you believe, in your opinion, if Pacquiao defeats Adrien Broner on January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view, that he can lure Floyd Mayweather out of retirement? Now, Mayweather had a fight in Japan, or an exhibition in Japan. It did not count towards his boxing record. Had the matchup against Conor McGregor that was massive on Showtime pay-per-view. But do you think that Pacquiao and Mayweather #2 can happen if Pacquiao defeats Broner next Saturday?
I really think it can happen. Manny Pacquiao is right out there for Mayweather. Even though the first fight wasn't as entertaining as we had hoped, it's still a mega fight, even if it does half of that 4.6 million pay-per-view buys. Floyd Mayweather's retired too many times to even count, so when he says he's retired now, I don't really pay it too much mind. He had the exhibition. He's obviously in shape still. And, yeah, Manny Pacquiao looks great. I'm sure Floyd's going to be interested. I know he's going to be ringside in Las Vegas on Saturday for the fight. I'm sure he'll be watching with vested interest. I think he'll come back.
Well, for Manny Pacquiao, Mike, you've been here and you've watched him work out. And for Pacquiao, At 40 years of age, he turned 40 last month on December 17th. He's the only world champion at 40 or above. What are you seeing out of Pacquiao as you've come to the gym here? You've been around him. You have witnessed him here in camp here in the United States, here at the Wild Card Boxing Club here in Hollywood. But what have you witnessed?
Manny Pacquiao still works out at a frenetic pace. It's amazing to see the pace he sets. He's here jumping rope constantly, in the ring with Freddie Roach on the pads. He's going at a crazy pace, never stopping, never letting 2 hours straight. His calves are enormous still, even at 40. And when I was watching him, he was working on a 1-2-3 combination. A jab to open him up, open up the guard there, and then a straight left, and then he'd slide to the right and then fire through an overhand left. And that's the shot he needs against Adrien Broner, a guy who fights out of his shell, who doesn't like to open up. He's going to have to open up that guard for him.
Well, for Manny Pacquiao as well, Mike, as we go ahead and prepare for the 8-Division World Champion to work out here at the Wild Card Boxing Club here in Hollywood, California. Happy New Year to all of you. But Pacquiao is really, he's focused, he's determined, but now when it comes to his promotional standpoint, he is no longer promoted by Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated. Instead, he now has Al Heyman, a Premier Boxing Champions, as his advisor. Al Heyman happens to be the same advisor as Floyd Mayweather. When it comes to the welterweight division, you have Keith Thurman, you have Errol Spence, you have Sean Porter, you have Danny Garcia. So for Manny Pacquiao, when it comes to fighting other top-level PBC welterweights, there's no shortage of fighting the top of the food chain. So if a fight with Mayweather doesn't happen, the rematch, there are plenty of top-level guys and champions that Pacquiao can make himself and get in the ring with if he's successful over Adrien Broner.
When I spoke to Manny Pacquiao last week, he told me he's really eyeing that March 16th fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia. That's who he wants. He wants the winner of that bout, and that's an absolute giant fight. Pacquiao's looking to fight after this, maybe May, June, or July, he said. Now, May is going to be too quick of a turnaround, I'm sure, for either Spence or Garcia, but July lines up perfectly well, assuming there's no injuries, no cuts. And Pacquiao said after July, he's done for the year. He has to focus on his duties as a senator in the Philippines. He has presidential aspirations. But a fight between Manny Pacquiao and either Errol Spence or Mikey Garcia, sign me up.
Oh, completely agree with you. Or rematch with Floyd Mayweather. But, Mike, as we've watched Manny Pacquiao, and we witnessed that All Access, that wonderful documentary that we saw as both Pacquiao and Broner get set for their colossal Showtime pay-per-view matchup next Saturday from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It would appear as if at this stage, Mike, that Pacquiao is able to handle both duties and be so effortlessly in doing so. He puts effort in both, but what I'm saying is that he knows how to balance them. Before, a couple years ago, it looked like he was trying to focus on boxing, or it was one way or the other. Now I feel like he finally has that proper rhythm and everything is being handled accordingly.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, maybe at age 40, he's not the same athlete he once was, even if he's still one of the fastest fighters in the sport. But I agree with you, Ray. He's handling his duties better now. He seems to really enjoy promoting. At the press conference here in November in Beverly Hills, he was cracking jokes at Broner's expense. He was genuinely funny. He gets it now. And he also gets it on a fighter level. Yes, he has Boo Boy Fernandez and also Freddie Roach training him now. He doesn't really need a trainer at this point other than to show him a pointer here, a pointer there. He knows what he's doing. He's a master boxer.
Well, Manny Pacquiao turned pro in 1995. He's going on 24 years as a professional, a champion in 8 weight divisions. What he has done has been remarkable, and he's without question a first ballot Hall of Famer in regards to once he hangs up the gloves and once his fighting days are over. But Pacquiao, at 40 years of age, there seems to be this renewed sense of energy with him. All these matchups potentially with an Errol Spence or a Mikey Garcia or a Sean Porter, maybe a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao seems to be re-energized as he heads towards this matchup next Saturday against Adrien Broner.
He really is. Pacquiao's excited by the prospect of fighting under the PBC banner. When I spoke to him last week, he told me he still loves training, still loves fighting. he sees no end in sight, and he's looking for the biggest challenges possible. He's not looking for soft touches to make some money. He wants big fights, whether that's Mayweather, Errol Spence Jr., Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia. There's so many opportunities. He's excited by it, and he's looking to showcase his talent against Adrien Broner and get everyone else excited too.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about one of those potential matchups, as in a few moments we are going to be joined alongside from Mayweather Promotions by Leonard Ellerbe, who happens to be there working alongside Floyd Mayweather, also the promoter of Badou Jack, who incidentally happens to be fighting Marcus Brown. That's the co-feature of the Pacquiao-Broner Showtime pay-per-view next Saturday. So Leonard Ellerbe has Badou Jack, former world champion, as the co-main event against Marcus Brown. Then February 9th on Showtime Championship Boxing at StubHub Center, or nearby here in Carson, California. He has his world champion in Gervonta Tank Davis defending his 130-pound title against Abner Mares. That'll be on February 9th here on Showtime Championship Boxing. Just waiting to have a conversation with Leonard Ellerbe. And actually, Mike, I'm very curious to see if he spoke with Floyd as to what him and Manny talked about yesterday at the Clippers game.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that too. I know Floyd's going to say he's retired, he doesn't interested, but Mayweather said that so many times before that we really can't believe him. We know if there's a big $200 million, $300 million paycheck dangling in front of Floyd Mayweather, that he's going to be enticed to come out of retirement and fight Manny Pacquiao. The first fight is the biggest revenue fight in history. 4.6 million pay-per-view buys. Floyd made over $300 million. Is he going to say no to that again? And there's a lot of storylines too. Pacquiao insists that he would have won if he didn't have that torn rotator cuff. He tried to get the Toradol shot to numb the pain, was denied by the Nevada Commission, and he insists that if he gets one more crack at Mayweather, he's going to knock him out.
Well, I think it's a fun matchup, Mike. I mean, obviously the two biggest names arguably in the history of the sport of boxing, but they are, as you pointed out, 40 years of age and older. Why not have this fight happen, assuming Pacquiao is able to defeat Adrien Broner? And with Broner, he's looking to play spoiler. He's trying to come out and say, look, people have written me off. I've gotten another big opportunity. Still, people don't believe in me. I feel like Broner heading into this fight, especially with the fact that he elected not to come here to work out at the home gym of Manny Pacquiao, he almost feels disrespected. There's a chip on the shoulder of Adrien Broner. Do you feel that same way, Mike?
Yeah, Adrien Broner is tired of everyone criticizing him. He wants to prove that he is the elite fighter that he's paid to be. He's a 4-division champion, but who has he really beaten to grab those titles? He beat Antonio DeMarco, good fighter. Probably his best win is current Showtime boxing analyst Paulie Malignaggi, who has passed his best days. That was a close fight. A lot of people thought Paulie won that fight. Broner is still looking to prove that he's a top operator, that he's one of the best fighters in the sport, and here's his opportunity against a living legend.
Well, here's one thing that can be said about Adrien Broner, is that he is an attraction. You either love him or you hate him, but you want to see this guy fight. He is entertaining. He was a world champion at 23. He's a 4-division world champion. But when it comes to the X's and O's standpoint, Mike, Adrien Broner in recent memory has not fought many southpaws, which is what Manny Pacquiao is. The last time Adrien Broner fought a southpaw was back against Habib Ardiev back in Cincinnati. That you shall hear on Showtime at Championship Boxing. That was in Broner's hometown of Cincinnati. Do you think that could play an issue when it comes to the problem?
It's not just the southpaw style that's going to trouble Broner, and I agree it will. Manny Pacquiao's volume punching is going to give Broner fits. Broner's going to sit back in the pocket, wait to counter, try to punch last. Pacquiao is not going to stop coming. His motor is extremely high, even at this advanced age, and he's too fast. He's so much faster than Broner. His footwork is so much better. Broner is going to have to take chances if he wants to beat Manny Pacquiao. He can't wait back in the pocket. He can't punch last. He needs to punch with him. And people every say Broner has this great chin. Yeah, he's shown that he can handle a good punch. But what's going to happen when he opens up? He's going to have to open up if he wants to win that fight.
Well, this is the second fight that Adrien Broner is having under his new head trainer, that being Kevin Cunningham. Broner elected to relocate himself to West Palm Beach, Florida, where Kevin Cunningham now has his gym. Kevin Cunningham, if you remember, has been the lead trainer for Devin Alexander, former world champion, since the beginning. So now that Cunningham and Broner, this is their second time out, do you expect to see a better and more fine-tuned Adrien Broner? He looks solid in his fight against Jesse Vargas that you saw here on Showtime Championship Boxing, but what are you expecting? Are you expecting to see a more seasoned and a sharper Adrien Broner next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view?
I think Adrien Broner is who he is at this point, and if anything, that Vargas fight probably took a lot out of him. That was a grueling fight, one of the best, most action-packed fights of 2018. I think Broner, I don't know that he can really change at this point. I think it's going to just come up down to him taking chances. Does he want to take a chance and maybe get hurt or knocked out? Does he want to stand in the pocket with Manny Pacquiao and trade? Because here's the thing. Against a guy like Jesse Vargas, when Broner would open up and start his attack, Vargas would cover up. Manny Pacquiao is not going to do that. If you punch Manny Pacquiao, he's going to punch with you. He's not going to wait for the counter opportunities. And that's when you're in danger.
Well, let's be honest, Mike. Adrien Broner cannot elect to wait. He has got to put the pressure on, and he has to get off early, because if he decides to sit back and wait, which has been the case in his losses against a Marcos Maidana, which has been the case against a Mikey Garcia, which has been the case against a Sean Porter, it hasn't fared and gone his way. Broner needs to start more aggressive in this fight against Manny Pacquiao, because the last thing that Manny Pacquiao or that Adrien Broner wants to do against Pacquiao is get down by a significant margin early.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao's a fast starter, too. Look at the Floyd Mayweather fight even. Pacquiao was winning those early rounds. He hurt Floyd Mayweather in round 4. Adrien Broner is one of the slowest starters in boxing. It seems that he doesn't really open up until it's far too late. The Sean Porter fight, he was down big on the cards, lost almost every round, and then what does he do in round 12? Knocks Porter down and hurts him. It was too late then, and if he's going to wait until round 8 or 9 against Pacquiao, he's done. He did the same thing against Jesse Vargas, losing most of the first half of the fight, winning most of the second half. Broner needs to start off the stool in round 1. He needs to open up, he needs to pressure him, and he needs to punch with Pacquiao. I can't stress that enough.
And we are here at the Wild Card Boxing Club here in Hollywood, California. We are awaiting the entrance, and Manny Pacquiao going ahead as he is going to work out here at his home gym in Los Angeles. We are going to be here to document it. Also, we'll have a talk with Freddie Roach, hopefully going to grab the 8-division world champion, the senator from the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao. It is Pacquiao-Broner next Saturday, January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Do not miss it. Call your local cable or satellite providers for an opportunity to purchase the pay-per-view. This is the second time, or the first time, that Pacquiao has fought here stateside in about 2 years. And with Adrien Broner, as we go ahead and we welcome the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, that being Leonard Ellerby. It's great to see Leonard joining us here in Hollywood, California. And as always, he's dressed to the nines and looking very sharp. Happy New Year to you, Leonard. Greatly appreciate it. How excited are you for next Saturday's Showtime pay-per-view? It is Pacquiao, it's Broner. We'll talk about your man, Badu Jack, in a few moments, but we get set for a big matchup at the MGM Grand Garden Arena on Showtime pay-per-view.
Very excited. Huge event. Two great fighters. Who's going to put it on the line next Saturday night?
Well, talking about putting it on the line, we saw yesterday at the Clippers game, Manny Pacquiao's Filipino Heritage Night. He saw Floyd Mayweather. The last time they saw each other at a basketball game was about 4 years ago, and then the biggest fight in the history of combat sports happened. Can you tell us, did Floyd tell you what was said in their brief meeting yesterday at the Staples Center?
I think they just greeted each other, but it was ironic because that's a very similar thing what happened in 2015. And it was just kind of odd that just seeing that, because we obviously knew that Manny was coming to the game, and Floyd has season tickets to the Clippers game. And actually I was just surprised because it's so reminiscent of what happened in 2015. Just like, wow, how ironic that is.
Does that mean we're going to see another rematch? The same thing that happened in 2015, the basketball meeting followed by the big fight?
No, I don't think we're going to see that.
Why
well,
not?
let's talk about what we are going to see. Badu Jack against Marcus Brown. That's the co-feature of Showtime pay-per-view next week, Pacquiao and Broner. You've promoted Badu. You've been around him, 35 years of age, former two-division world champion. What can you tell us about how Badu's mindset is and how he's looking conditioning-wise as he prepares for Marcus Brown next week?
He's really, really in great shape. He's a veteran. And after fighting all of these fights, especially the last 6 fights against world champions, his experience is on another level. And I think that that's one of his strengths coming into this fight. He knows how to prepare. He knows what to expect. And again, with Marcus obviously being a southpaw, with him have fought several southpaws leading up to this, he's really, really dialed in. And that's going to be another great fight and one that might steal the show.
Now, Leonard, as we, with Badu Jack, he seems to be one of those guys that you as a promoter, you have to love a guy like that. I almost feel like he doesn't turn down any fights whatsoever. You call him and say, this is offered. Do you want it? And immediately he says yes. Is that sort of how Badu Jack is when you call him and say, this is what's being offered, and then he immediately accepts?
Yes, and he's what I always say. He's a promoter's dream. He's a family man. He's actually an ambassador for the sport. He loves giving back to the community. He's a consummate professional. He always comes prepared. He's one of the nicest guys in the sport. What more can you ask for?
Badu Jack is one of the best light heavyweights in the world right now. This is a great fight. I love this co-feature. We know Marcus Brown's hungry. He's been asking for a big fight for a long time right now. How do you see this fight playing out?
I see this fight playing out. The early rounds I expected to be, a little back and forth, but I fully expect with Badu's experience to get Marcus out of there coming down the stretch.
Let's talk about another member of the Mayweather Promotions stable. We're here in the Los Angeles area. Coming up February 9th on Showtime Championship Boxing, Gervonta Davis defends his championship against Abner Mares, and that is in Carson, California. I like to call it, Leonard, the War Grounds, and this is the first time that Gervonta is headlining here in Los Angeles. Can you tell us about the mindset of Tank? Because, man, oh, man, when it comes to fights to circle on my calendar, I look at February 9th on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Man, and I just got off the phone with him. He was just leaving out the gym. He is really, really excited, with this being his first U.S. Show that he's headlining. He's really excited to put on a great show for the fans. And he knows what's at stake, and this is a moment that he's been looking for quite some time. And it's going to be a star-studded event. The first day we had well over 3,000 tickets that were sold. Fully expect that it's definitely going to be a sellout. Actually, I had a conversation about adding some bleacher seats in. So again, this is a fight that the fans have gravitated to. They know that Gervonta is the most exciting fighter, in my opinion, in the entire sport, and they just can't wait to see him get out there and do what he does.
It's Grammys weekend, too. Who's going to rap out Gervonta to the ring?
Oh, yeah. And actually, we were kind of talking about that. He's obviously one of the, when it comes to social media, he's definitely one of the top 3 guys that are out there who have the biggest following. And he just has a way to connect with the younger fan base that's out there. And we're not just talking about boxing, just sports in general. And he has a number of celebrity friends in the entertainment industry, and I fully expect quite a few of them to attend the fight. I know that they are, and again, with it being Grammys weekend, a lot of the relationships, people have already reached out to, say they're coming. It's going to be a star-studded event. You would think that event will be comparable to what we have next Saturday night.
Now, Leonard, with Gervonta Davis, he's the favorite heading into that fight over Abner Mares. Mares, former world champion on numerous divisions. But does it go to show how hard of a puncher Gervonta Davis is? Because Abner Mares is no slouch whatsoever. How cognizant is Davis of Martinez in terms of how dangerous he's going to be on February 9th?
Yeah, how cognizant it is.
How is Davis of how dangerous Martinez is? Martinez is the underdog, but I think it's more so because the boxing public sees how explosive of a puncher Gervonta Davis is.
Yeah, Abner Mares is a excellent fighter. He's been a fighter that I followed for many years. A guy that I have a great deal of respect for. Someone that always comes and gives 100%. And again, we know what to expect from him. We expect it to be a great fight. You know, I expect the fight to end in a knockout, though.
Gervonta Davis is a great fighter, but he's yet to face anybody resembling the ilk of Abner Mares, a 3-division champion looking to become one of only 2 other, well, I guess he'd be the 3rd Mexican ever to be a 4-division champion, joining Eric Morales, Juan Manuel Marquez. He told me that he has no doubt he's going to win, and he wants to see what Gervonta has when he gets to those later rounds. He's never gone 12 rounds. Does he have what it takes?
Abner Mares definitely has what it takes. Again, he's.
So does Gervonta Davis have what it takes over the second half of the fight?
Gervonta Davis is special, flat out. He's not like any other fighter. He has the ability to get you out there in a split second. But he's also an outstanding boxer, and what the fans haven't had a chance to see that for him to display his outstanding boxing skills, because he's such a devastating puncher. You know, so with that combined, and the scary part is he's got a lot of room to grow. And that's what I'm most impressed about, his eagerness and his willingness to want to become better. And I think that come February the 9th, everything's going to be on display. We know that Abner is the best that he's faced, you know, will be, you know, up until that point. But we're going to see what's going to happen.
And that is Gervonta Davis. Abner Mares, the 130-pound world championship, is on the line on Showtime Championship Boxing, February 9th. We're joined alongside by the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe. Leonard, getting back to Pacquiao and Broner next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. You've had numerous dealings with Adrien Broner. You've watched him from a prospect to contender to world champion. He's coming in here. He was supposed to be here today, but elected not to come here to the home gym of Manny Pacquiao. It's his second fight with Kevin Cunningham. What can you tell us about the evolution of Adrien Broner, now at 29 years of age, looking for that signature win next Saturday against Manny Pacquiao?
He's fully focused. I haven't seen him this focused yet. I think that he has a chip on his shoulder, and he's looking to prove all the critics wrong come next Saturday night. And I personally think he has a very, very good chance to pull off the upset. The key to Adrien Broner, in my eyes, in the past has been, you know, you hear the fans say, letting his hands go. You know, he needs to let his hands go. I think that the work that he's put in, the preparation, and as you mentioned, this is his second full camp with Kevin. The preparation that he's put in, the sparring, you know, the road work, everything what it takes to have a great camp, he's done that. Come next Saturday night, I can promise you the fans will see the best version of Adrien Broner.
Now, Leonard, you have mentioned to me numerous times that there are levels to this game when it comes to being in the ring and from a promotional standpoint. Adrien Broner isn't here today. Can you tell us about have you had a conversation with him? Have you heard dialogue as to why he decided not to come here? This is just me guessing, is that I don't think he wanted to be here at the home gym of Manny Pacquiao. But can you tell us, have you heard anything or what your initial analysis is as to why Broner isn't here today?
You just said it. You just said it. And that's his prerogative and his decision. He didn't want to come here because this is Manny Pacquiao's home gym. And, again, that's Adrien Broner's prerogative. And I respect him for that. Because if I was in those shoes, meaning I'm saying that as the fighter, I would, you know, I could see him looking at it like that. And that's his prerogative. He's the only one that got to get in there and do what he needs to do come next Saturday night. And he's just so focused, though. He has layers of focus, and that's the part that I've been very impressed with, thus far. To see him put in that work, because he knows what's at stake and knows what a victory over a legend like Manny Pacquiao does for his career. It's a career-defining win if he's able to pull it off. And, again, I think he has a very good shot at doing that. Many people haven't, the insiders in the sport, haven't given him the credit, that I think that he deserves. A lot of the stuff has been self-inflicted, but he has a great opportunity next Saturday night to right any of those wrongs. He instantly becomes a major player in the 147-pound weight division with the victory over Manny.
I totally understand why Adrien Broner wouldn't want to come to Manny Pacquiao's home gym, but this is a pay-per-view, and the bottom line is promotion. And you've seen firsthand for years the hard work that Floyd Mayweather's put in to become the biggest pay-per-view attraction in the sport. Shouldn't Adrien be here and put egos aside to make sure he sells pay-per-views and helps his own bottom line?
Well, Adrien Broner is focused on winning a fight, and that's what he should be focused on, is doing any and everything to stay focused for what he's got to do next Saturday night. And again, it's his prerogative for not wanting to come to this gym. He is coming to L.A. at 4 o'clock this afternoon to another gym. He just didn't want to work out in the same gym that this is Manny's gym, and I don't blame him.
Now, Adrien Broner has had success during the course of his career, Leonard, and you mentioned that, he has had some issues. Granted, a lot of them have been self-inflicted, but at 29 years of age, can you see a part where next Saturday he turns that chapter, because as you get into your late 20s, early 30s, you start to mature as a man. Have you seen that out of Adrien Broner? Because we have heard that before, but in your dealings with the man known as the Problem, are you seeing it firsthand?
Yes. Again, I've never seen him this focused before. I haven't seen him put that kind of work in. He knows what it takes to defeat what he has to do to defeat a legend in Manny Pacquiao. He knows that everybody is against him. He's talked about he's doing this for the hood, and he really believes that, and because it's like he feels as though that he's putting it all on his back. Everybody's against him. That's why he has that chip on his shoulder, and no matter what has happened in the past, all it takes is him to go out there and get that victory next Saturday night, and then what is everybody else going to say then?
Well, talking about the hood, Leonard, he has been an influential part, with what he's done, helping out guys like Rasheed Warren, who is on the undercard that you'll watch on Showtime pay-per-view, guys like Robert Easter Jr. So Broner, being from Cincinnati, he's been boxing since he was 6 years of age. But he's sort of thrown the rope down and helped these other guys like the Rasheed Warrens of the world and like the Robert Easter Jr.'s to help and give them a platform to be able to fight at such a high level.
Man, as you just mentioned, two excellent fighters, two fighters that I have a great deal of respect for. Rasheed, again, that's going to be a great fight. I expect him to win the title, and you can't say enough about Bunny. Again, that they have a great relationship. I like their whole team. He's Adrien's putting together a nice little squad of his About Billions promotion. Got some good, exciting young fighters, and big things lie ahead for them.
Adrien Broner's always had all the talent in the world, never questioned that. From watching all his videos on Instagram and social media, he appears to be in excellent shape, ultra-focused, like you said. The burning question from me, and I think a lot of other boxing fans, is Adrien Broner going to let his hands go? Or is he going to wait until round 10 and 11, like always, and seem to freeze up in those big moments?
Well, no, I think that I know his approach is different from any other fight with this fight. This is the biggest stage as it gets. It gets no bigger than Manny Pacquiao. And, again, a win over a legend like Manny Pacquiao, it puts him on a whole nother level for a couple reasons. One, money-wise, the options are unlimited for Adrien with the victory over Manny, and I think that he knew that when he accepted the fight, and actually this is a fight that he wanted for quite some time. There are a lot of guys that have wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao, and I think timing is the key. I mean, let's face it, Manny Pacquiao is an all-time great, future Hall of Famer, but Manny Pacquiao's not the same Manny Pacquiao of 2009, 2011, but
he's a
still
40-year-old Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, he's still a great, great fighter, but fighters tend to slow down just a little bit. And one of the things, again, that I think will be one of Adrien's advantages is the youth. Is the youth. I think that's going to play a factor in this. And because one is that the preparation that Adrien's had for this fight hasn't been like any other fight. And with Manny, Manny's just consistently, he knows how to get up for a fight. He has an explosive style, and he comes, he throws a lot of punches. That's Manny Pacquiao. You're not going to get anything different from him. With Adrien Broner, I think that what we're going to be able to see is that, as you mentioned in previous fights, he hasn't let his hands go. I know for a fact that Kevin and him, they have some things that they've been working on to kind of disrupt a lot of things. And again, I think that he will be effective with the strategy that they have in place. And don't be surprised if Adrien Broner comes out with a victory next Saturday night.
Well, Leonard, to get to that point about preparation with Kevin Cunningham, his second fight with him, I think Kevin Cunningham is one of the most underrated trainers in all of boxing. He took Devin Alexander from being an amateur to being a world champion. I see a sense of military-like discipline that Kevin Cunningham imparts upon the fighters that he has. He told me that when Broner wanted to work with him, he said, well, if you want to work with me, you got to move into my house. So Broner decided to do that prior to his fight with Jesse Vargas. Do you see and do you think that Kevin Cunningham is vastly underrated? Because I think that Broner has looked significantly better in the one fight with Cunningham against Vargas, and I think we'll see more of an improvement next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view.
I couldn't agree with you more. I thought that he fought very well in the Vargas fight, and that was just an indication of just, the work that they had put in. And I know that they have put even more work in. And again, as you mentioned, Kevin has been one of the most underrated coaches out there, and he's one of the best out there in the game. And I know, again, the game plan that they have set up for Saturday night, it's going to be a good one. And it will be a very entertaining fight. I guarantee you that.
It's one thing to have the game plan. I just wonder if Adrien Broner is going to be able to handle Manny Pacquiao's volume. Because we all know that Adrien Broner is a counterpuncher. He likes to lay back. Is he going to take a chance and open up and punch with Manny Pacquiao? You think so?
Well, again, boxing at this level is like, you're not going to match Manny punch for punch. Nobody's going to do that. It's about timing. It's about timing and picking your spots and knowing what you got to do. I know Manny Pacquiao about as well as anybody when it comes to just the strategy part, because obviously I studied him for years. Obviously because we knew that was going to eventually happen, the Mayweather fight. So I can tell you now, it's about timing with him, and they have worked on some things. And again, he don't have to match him punch for punch. He just has to punch when he needs to punch and be effective at what he's got to do.
Find a few moments with the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe. Leonard, as we get set to let you go, what are some prospects that you guys have coming up? I know that you have some guys coming up through the pipeline. We mentioned the champions in Badu Jack and Gervonta Davis, but who are some guys that you're really interested and excited about? One guy who I have in mind is Juan Heraldez, who I think is really getting ready to make that next step in his career.
And that's another great point. And Juan's actually going to be fighting on the February 9th card in a very, very good fight that I'm going to be announcing pretty soon.
Any idea who, Leonard? I mean, you can break it with us right now.
I'm going to do it soon. he's a tremendous undefeated prospect, and again, the fans are going to get a chance to see him on one of the social platforms on February the 9th. Just haven't figured it out. But we have Xavier Martinez, Rolando Romero, obviously Andrew Tabiti. You know, he's not a prospect anymore.
No.
You know, he's on the cusp of a world title shot.
Well, you guys went to Russia, and he picked up a big victory out there in Yekaterinburg.
Yeah. So he's ready to go to that next level. I'm waiting to hear back from the WBSS what the next steps are on when we're getting started back again. But he has a very tough fight against Dorticos, and it's a fight that I fully expect Andrew to come out on top of, and hoping that fight could possibly be for a world title, because again he was number 3, and he fought the number 2 guy, and again, so we don't really know what Usyk is doing, and you know where he's going with his career, but we're in a great position, and Andrew, he's looking forward to you know, making a lot of noise out there. We have Ladarius Miller.
Love Memphis Miller.
Yeah.
What an entertaining fighter in the lightweight division.
He's another excellent young fighter that we're moving right along, and he's on the cusp of a title shot also. Sharif Bulgari, who will be fighting on the February 9th card. We have I have so many young, outstanding fighters.
A lot of young guys. You know what? But from a boxing standpoint, I'm going to give you an early Christmas wish.
Okay.
How about Ladarius Miller and you know, Devin Haney? I know Devin Haney is going to be headlining on Showbox coming up on Friday, so check that out. I mean, would you be interested in maybe Ladarius Miller, Devin Haney down the line?
We're interested in anything when it comes to fighting for world titles and moving the career right along and the big fights. We're open to all. That's one thing that me and Floyd have always been on the same page with, is that when it comes to our fighters, we're gonna put them in. We're gonna put them in, and because you gotta understand what you got. You know, we love working with our young talent. We love putting on our monthly dark shows. You know, we're keeping our fighters busy, and that's what he's really stressed. And we're just excited about what 2019 holds. We got like 10 shows in the first 5 months. You know, with the first one starting obviously, you know, next weekend. No, actually, I have a show on 17 January, the Thursday before the big show. I'm gonna showcase all my young fighters, and again, it's gonna be a show that I'm gonna stream, and since you got
some of the young talent.
Yeah, showcase some of the young talent, and we're gonna invite all the media, you know, to come. I'm doing the show. I can break this now because my team hadn't put out the release. We're gonna do the show from the MGM next Thursday.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so give you guys a chance to come downstairs and
relax and check out some young prospects.
There you
It's
go.
always a blast. Leonard, thank you so much.
Thank
the CEO
you.
of Mayweather Promotions, sharply
you.
dressed as
Thank
always,
you.
bringing Hollywood swag here to the Wild Card Boxing Club. Leonard Ellerby, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, joined us. Leonard, thanks so much. Greatly appreciated. And coming up in a few moments, we're going to be talking with Freddie Roach as we continue to count down to Pacquiao and Broner next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view. You are watching the Manny Pacquiao workout as the 8-division world champion will step inside the ring and prepare himself and work out for the media, and you can watch it. We will react to it as well. And now, from Leonard Ellerby, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, in a few moments, we are going to be joined alongside by the Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach. And Mike, I'm excited to speak with Freddie Roach, but quickly, what was your synopsis as to what we heard out of Leonard Ellerby in regards to Adrien Broner? Leonard has had many dealings with Broner over the past few years, and he said that Broner is the most focused and dedicated, and that he really understands that this is the biggest opportunity of his life.
Leonard's definitely bullish on Broner's chances, and I hope Leonard's right. I want to see a great fight. If Broner does elect to let his hands go and lay it all on the line, I think we're going to see one of the best fights of the year. He has the talent, he has the hand speed, the power, and it's a great contrast of styles. Broner, the flat-footed puncher, the counter puncher against Manny Pacquiao, one of the best 25 fighters of all time, boxing's only 8th division champion ever, and still blistering hand speed, even at this age.
Well, it is going to be very interesting. And don't forget, if you haven't seen All Access, a comprehensive look at both Pacquiao and Broner, it is on Showtime, the social media pages. Next week, All Access Daily, as we'll follow around both Manny Pacquiao and Adrien Broner as they get set for their Showtime pay-per-view matchup next Saturday, January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Mike, Manny Pacquiao is no stranger to the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It is the 14th time he has fought at that venue. He's had some special moments there. He's had some moments where he's had to literally get off the canvas, but for Pacquiao, back at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, I think it's a fitting return when it comes to destination-wise for the 8-division world champion.
Yeah, the MGM is Manny Pacquiao's home. That's where he belongs. That's where most of his biggest wins have come. Ricky Haddon, the second-round knockout.
Miguel Cotto,
that was peak Manny Pacquiao, that Miguel Cotto fight that you mentioned. That's when Pacquiao was at his best, all the angles, the sliding around the ring, the effortless punching. And that was at 147 when he was just coming up. Can Pacquiao do that at this age? Probably not. But I think even 75% of Manny Pacquiao is better than 98% of fighters in boxing.
Well, let's be honest. Manny Pacquiao is one of those special talents, those once-in-a-lifetime fighters. When you watch him, you have to be able, and it is something that down the line, I will be telling I don't even have kids right now, but I'll be telling my grandchildren down the line, I saw Manny Pacquiao fight. That is how special this guy is. You haven't been around the sport for a long time, but explain to us the significance of being able to watch Manny Pacquiao fight even at 40 years of age.
Manny Pacquiao isn't just one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's one of the greatest athletes. I mean, this is a guy that was boxing at 16 years old in the Philippines, and that's why he has a few losses on his record. He started at 108 pounds. No one's won 8 titles in 8 weight classes. Manny Pacquiao's done it. And he's done it all with a smile on his face, one of the most charismatic fighters in the sport, very approachable. He's a treasure. I'm so excited that we get to still watch him do his thing and still do it at a high level. It's a real treat.
And one of the most humble guys that we have ever seen as a prize fighter. And right now, we are privileged to be joined alongside by the Hall of Famer as we are getting set for the Manny Pacquiao workout. He's been in the corner in some very illustrious moments. Freddie Roach joining us. Freddie, thank you so much for your time. Manny Pacquiao back here on U.S. soil for the first time in 2 years. How excited are all of you for next Saturday against Adrien Broner on Showtime pay-per-view?
I can't wait. He's doing really well. He's training camp's been great, and I love being back with Manny, and we did have a little time off there, but it's everything's back to normal, and he's doing really well.
Freddie, what happened in that time off? He went ahead and he had that fight with Lucas Matisse. You were not in his corner. Now that you guys have reunited, can you tell us about what happened and what your role is now? Because to my understanding, it is still Boy Fernandez is his lead trainer. So can you break us down as to what transpired in that entire, with Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, well, the thing is, after the Horn fight, we discussed about being a senator and a championship boxer and how difficult both are. And I told him that I think you should maybe give up one and just pick one. And, it's, because like being a senator in training camp when he's in Senate, sometimes at 3 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. But no matter what time he's out of Senate, we have to practice. And it wasn't a great training camp, I felt. And I thought that he should maybe give up one and just because it's so difficult to be a world champion by itself, but then be a senator on top of that. So we had a discussion after the fight, then we didn't speak for 2 years, and I heard he was a little pissed off about that conversation. Yes, and the thing is, he had the press conference with Broner here. He called me up, said, "Freddie, can you come to my hotel? I want to have a meet with you." I said, "Yeah." So he said 9:30. I said, "I'll be there." And we went down, and we were in a room with about 10 people. and just talking to each other. And he said, first of all, I'd like to say I'm sorry for not inviting you to the last fight. I said, don't worry about that. That's water under the bridge right now. I said, let's get past that. There's no problem there. I mean, we've been together 15 years. I mean, I have no reason in the world to be mad at Manny Pacquiao. I had great runs with him. And so we discussed what my job was, how Boo Boy wants to be more involved, and so he can have a future in boxing as a trainer. And so everything worked out really well, and we're all working together as a team right now. I'm doing more of the mitts right now because Boo Boy gets a little bit more tired than I do. And I can still go 12 rounds with Manny, and I'm happy to be able to do that. And so, I mean, everything's been really good. Yesterday was Boo Boy's day. He worked really hard yesterday, and I think I'm catching today. So we'll see. But the thing is, catching Manny is a great thing to do. It's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of pain involved and a lot of action, okay? And I'm strictly working on the game plan of how to fight this Broner. You know, he's more of a counter puncher. He doesn't like to come forward too much. And Manny does like when people come to him. And since Broner doesn't do that too often, Manny's going to have to be the aggressor in this fight a little bit and use his feints and just trap this guy into making it more of a fight.
Following Manny Pacquiao's tour de force performance against Miguel Cotto, he went through a big knockout drought. You all along called for that ruthless aggression that Manny Pacquiao used to show at his peak. And I thought he showed it against Lucas Matisse in July. Are we going to see that same aggression, that same viciousness from Manny Pacquiao next week?
I feel we are because, I mean, there's been rumor around that Manny's telling people that he wants to knock out in this one. And I have never heard that in my life from Manny Pacquiao. He would never say that in the past, and for him to say that, I mean, it's got to be true, and I love that. I love that attitude because, you know, the thing is, I think, you know, the last knockout with Matisse, it was so satisfying, and he realized that you know, this is what the fans really want, and you know, we had again great runs of knockouts and so forth, and then, you know, 6 years go by and we finally get one, and I think that will carry over to this fight, and I think I don't think Manny will go out there looking for the knockout because he knows better than that. But the thing is, if he does hurt him, he will finish him.
Is it fair to say that Manny has once again reinvigorated the fact of, okay, this is what it feels like to knock out my opponent, to where it's almost like you get bloodthirsty and you feel that sort of, okay, I can really hurt this guy. Do you expect to see that same aggression from Manny Pacquiao next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view against Adrien Broner?
I do. I definitely do, and that's why I'm really excited about everything here. That was one of the best quotes I've heard, that Manny's been saying that he's going to knock this guy out, because I like that attitude, and I don't think any fight should go the distance.
Well, the one item in boxing and combat sports is Father Time is undefeated. Manny Pacquiao just turned 40 years of age on December 17th. Freddie, you've been around the sport for a long time, Hall of Famer. What are you seeing out of Manny Pacquiao? There is talk and there's discussion that, who knows, when a guy steps in the ring, they could turn and become old overnight. What are you seeing as you're catching the mitts and around Manny Pacquiao on a daily basis?
Pacquiao and I have a deal. I said, Manny, once your work ethic drops and you're not the same Manny Pacquiao, I'm going to tell you, and you will retire, and me and him have an agreement there with that. And his work ethic is unbelievable right now. I mean, he hasn't slowed down at all. He's working really well. His power, he hit me in the shot in the chest 2 or 3 days ago, and I've never been hit so hard in my life. And I says, is he really punching harder than ever? I said, I mean, he's really getting his body weight behind there. You know, looking at his calves, and look how his calves is like twice as big as they used to be, and they've always been really big. He has a lot of power, and he, you know, it's just so good to be back in camp with this guy. And the thing is, I do feel that he has a big shot to knock this guy out.
even if Manny Pacquiao isn't at his athletic peak at age 40, does his wealth of knowledge and experience make up for that and make him a more complete fighter?
You know, you could say that, but the thing is, his work ethic and his training is just unbelievable. It's the same as it's been when he was at his best. I mean, his work ethic has not dropped at all, and it's unusual, yes. But the thing is, he has 70 pro fights now, and he's still on fire. He's just he's so dedicated and works so hard. I mean, I love working with this guy. It's great.
So, Freddie, you're telling us that Manny Pacquiao is more explosive right now at 40 years of age than that of 10 years ago when he was wrecking the likes of Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto. Is that what you're telling us as he gets set to take on Adrien Broner on Showtime pay-per-view?
Yes, I do believe so. I mean, that shot he hit me, it just numbed my whole body, and I had to turn around and walk away, and because I didn't want to get hit again. But his work ethic is great. His power is great. And it's something you ask me every day when we go through the 30s and so forth. How's my power? How's my strength? I said, Manny, I can't believe this, but you're hitting harder than ever. And he really is.
We've seen some fighters after age 40 do some of their best work. The legendary Archie Moore. Of course, Bernard Hopkins fought at an elite level all the way up until age 49. Just how much can Manny Pacquiao accomplish in this last stage of his career?
You know, it's really we don't have a number yet because I mean we're going right now, and again, like you said, fighters could get old overnight. And the thing is, but I don't see that happening right now because his work ethic is so great, and but it can happen, yes. And the thing is, I think that's why we have to go fight by fight. And I think that agreement that we have, that once you start slowing down, I will ask you to retire. And he says that he will agree with me. And but I think we're going to have to wait to a point like, I think, I'm guessing at this. I'm not really, I don't have any fact of this, but has there ever been a president that's a world champion also?
I don't think that was the case. I do not think that has been the case. It'd be very interesting see if that comes to fruition. Freddie, if Pacquiao is successful next Saturday against Adrien Broner, there's a litany of guys he could fight now that he is being advised by Al Heyman. He saw Floyd Mayweather yesterday at the Clippers game. Do you take away anything from that? Do you think that Manny can lure Floyd out of retirement for that rematch? I know that Manny has stated that he wasn't himself from their blockbuster, that record-setting match years ago. But do you think that Manny can lure Floyd out of retirement?
I do think so, and I think that's why Floyd fought that fight, to be back on TV and be noticed. And he was very noticeable because he won by knockout, and people, Floyd's back, and they don't know he fought a little kid, but
Boy.
but I got to give him something. But anyway, I mean, it is a fight that I would like to see. I would like to see Manny because he's very healthy right now and he has no shoulder problems whatsoever. And I think that's the one fight that I want back. And for me, I could retire after that fight and be very happy with my life. But
is that the consensus in I know that it's focused on January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view, but is that the consensus amongst the group, not just yourself, or is this just your thought process that you want that rematch with Floyd?
It's just my process.
Okay.
It's just mine. We don't, as a camp, we know better. We don't talk about future fights because we have this one at stake, and we never look past any opponent.
Manny Pacquiao is the favorite against Adrien Broner. Everyone's fully expecting Pacquiao to grab the W next week. When I was here last week with you guys, Pacquiao told me he wants a shot at the winner of Errol Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia, and either one of those guys would be a favorite over Manny Pacquiao at this point. How do you like him in those fights?
I know both fighters very well. Errol Spence, I think, is maybe a little bit too big for him, but then Mike Garcia says he sees something that maybe we don't see, but he's got a lot of. I give it to him for picking that opponent, because Errol Spence is a great fighter. I did train Errol Spence when I was on the Olympic team, and when I was helping the team, and he is a very good fighter. And I did see him knock out Adrien Broner one day at the Olympic Training Center. I didn't knock him out on the floor, nothing like this, but he hit him hard enough where he didn't know where he was, and they had to stop the fight, to stop the sparring. And so Errol Spence is definitely a good fighter, yes, but the thing is, Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to just be in the fight game to fight. He wants to fight to be the best and fight the best. I mean, if Mayweather doesn't come to the table, somebody else will. And Errol Spence, he's definitely welcome to come.
Freddie, is it fair to say that Manny, you mentioned earlier about that the reason why you guys, did not come to terms on the next fight or on the previous fight with Lucas Matisse is you wanted to see Manny more focused on boxing. Do you think that Manny has done a better job and has fully grasped how to be a politician, a senator, how to put that to one part of his life, and how to train fully 100% as a prize fighter?
Yeah, he really has, because when we're in the Philippines and he's in Senate and working in Senate and getting out at different hours every day, and the boxing program comes second to that. And so for this training camp, he's completely off. They gave him a pardon and let him just concentrate on the fight only, and that's what he's doing right now, and that's what he needs to do. That's the best thing for Manny Pacquiao. If this structure can continue, then he still has a career for quite a few more years if he wants to.
I'm not sure how many people saw Pacquiao's win over Matisse. I know the Pacquiao fight against Jeff Horn was viewed by far more people. For those who only saw the Jeff Horn fight, how surprised will they be by how good Manny Pacquiao looks against Adrien Broner?
Yeah, Manny with the Matisse fight, I mean, it was a great fight to watch. I mean, I watched it, and a lot of people said, "Why did you watch that fight? Aren't you mad at him?" I said, "Why would I be mad at him?" I said, "I had 15 great years with this guy. He didn't call me for one fight, and things happen in boxing, and seeing that win and seeing that knockout and so forth, I love watching that." And I love the things that I taught him that some moves he made and so forth. And he's he knows my style so well. I mean, he knows it better than I do at this point. And the thing is, the strategy of the fight, he knows. And we're fighting a counter punch this time, which isn't the best guy in the world. Manny likes more when people come to him, of course. And he's going to have to initiate this fight, because I think Broner will not come to Manny Pacquiao, because he'll get eaten up if that happens.
Freddie, when you, obviously, we've seen you around the game for a long time and training different guys, but I see a twinkle in the eye with you. It's almost like reunited, and it feels so good. And we see that out of Manny as well. Do you think that that's an accurate portrayal as to how you guys are? It's like you guys are reunited, and it's like, my goodness, I missed my best friend, and now you guys are back together and in full unison.
Definitely, he is my best friend, and the thing is, I mean, he's the greatest fighter I've ever trained, and I mean, the things we've done together and the things he's done for me, I mean, he's really changed my life. Again, like, the downstairs gym, like someone says, "Oh, this is a real nice gym you built." I said, "I didn't build this gym. Manny Pacquiao did." Because Manny Pacquiao was the reason we made that gym, because, like, we have too many people upstairs, and Manny had to get more privacy downstairs, and so Manny offered to build the gym. We bought the laundromat, and now it's one of the best gyms in the world. This is nice. This gym is 33 years old, but downstairs is like 8 years old, and it's something we definitely needed to separate the fans from Manny Pacquiao, because his fanfare, I mean, there'll be 300 to 400 people in the parking lot. They're probably halfway there by now.
Bernard Hopkins was in his 40s when you trained him for that fight with Joe Calzaghe. Very close fight, and he looks great. Do you see any similarities between Bernard and Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, being at that age and so forth, Manny's more aggressive and wants to work harder and wants more. all the time, and we tried to get him to rest at certain points. Okay, Manny, don't run tomorrow. He says, why? I said, because you're sparring tomorrow, and sparring is more important than the run. And I said, just sleep in and stuff. He said, well, Freddie, what if my opponent runs that day? I said, yeah, you're right. We'll do a little bit of both. He's very, very difficult to negotiate with because you can't tell Manny Pacquiao what to do. You can negotiate the deal, and you can give and take a little bit, and you won't get it all, but you'll get some. So today is a midday, and we plan on doing maybe 6 rounds of mitts together and so forth. But he'll probably cut it to about 2 because the press is here, and he doesn't want to give anybody too much.
And being back at the MGM Grand, this is the 14th time. It's like home for Manny Pacquiao. It has to be nice to be back in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great back in the MGM. It's a great place to fight, and we've had a lot of history there, and I can't wait. I'm starting to get excited about the fight. The closer it gets, and he's doing more and better every day, and we finally get him to rest a little bit. And again, because of sparring days, we have 2 more days of sparring, and we go 6 and 4, and then we're done. And then Monday we'll shake out a little bit and just. And then we'll get to Vegas, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we'll do light workouts, and it'll be over.
How is fighting under the PBC banner reinvigorating Manny Pacquiao's spirit? He says he still loves fighting.
Yeah, he does love fighting, and the thing is, the competition out there that company brings is right where he wants it. I mean, because Manny Pacquiao, again, he doesn't want to fight just to fight. He wants to fight to be the best and fight the best, and that's always been his way. And people say, well, is he calling out Errol Spence? I mean, maybe a lot of people might think that's too much and so forth, but Manny Pacquiao doesn't think that way. He never thinks that way. I mean, and there's a reason why he walked up to Mayweather last night and gave him a shirt, and I'm sure it was a Manny Pacquiao shirt.
Well, Freddie, thank you so much for the time. Greatly appreciate it. We will see you in Las Vegas. Always a pleasure. We're 10 days away from Manny Pacquiao putting his world title on the line against Adrien Broner on Showtime pay-per-view. We'll see you in the fighting capital of the world, Freddie. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Freddie.
Appreciate it.
Freddie Roach, Hall of Famer, joining us here at the Wildcard Boxing Club as we prepare for Manny Pacquiao working out here at his home gym here in the United States. It's the first time he's fought here stateside in 2 years. Manny Pacquiao, Adrien Broner, privileged to have that talk with Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, and Manny Pacquiao is in the building. So we are going to see Manny Pacquiao work out. He's going to meet with the media, hopefully have a conversation with us. And Mike, with Freddie Roach saying that is the most explosive, that this camp is the most explosive, the hardest hitting Manny Pacquiao that he has ever seen. That could be, and the pun is intended, that could be problematic for Adrien the Problem Broner.
Yeah, I think Broner's in for a world of hurt. I just don't think he has what it takes to stand up to Manny Pacquiao's power, his speed, his fighting heart. Broner did show against Marcos Maidana, a fight he was favored to win, that he has the balls to dig down deep and pull himself up off the canvas, fight hard. And I know he's going to do that against Pacquiao too. But can he beat Pacquiao? Can he pull off the upset? Does he have the bag of tricks that Manny Pacquiao has? I don't think so. But it's a fascinating fight, and this to me is really the start of something new for Manny Pacquiao. This is the start of the last stage of his career. He's far from done, and he's anxious to show us what he has left today.
Well, Freddie mentioned in terms of Manny really enjoying being under the PBC banner and having a multitude of world champions and top-level welterweights to collide against. And one of them has actually called him out. He actually told us on the Showtime pre-show back on September 8th, prior to Porter fighting Garcia, Keith Thurman said a fight that interests him, if he's successful against Josecito Lopez, is Manny Pacquiao.
That's another fascinating fight. I love that fight. Keith Thurman is one of the 2 or 3 best welterweights in the world right now. He has to get past Josecito Lopez first on January 26th. Besides that, we also have Danny Garcia, who's fighting Adrien Granados on April 20th. Then, of course, there's Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao's former sparring partner. He told me that he'd love to fight Manny Pacquiao. Porter fights Yordenis Ugas on March 9th at MGM Grands. There are so many opportunities for Manny Pacquiao as long as he wins and looks good doing it on January 19th. And if Adrien Broner pulls the upset, those fights are there for him too.
Well, but let's be honest. The fight that Freddie said he wanted, that he is hoping that if Manny is successful against Adrien Broner, that they're hoping to lure him out of retirement, is Floyd Mayweather. So, and Freddie knows Manny and has been around Manny for such a long time. He stated to us that when Manny went ahead and talked to Floyd Mayweather yesterday courtside at the Clippers game at Staples Center, that it was a planned move. Do you think that Pacquiao can go ahead and if he looks very good against Broner, Mayweather can say, all right, I'm ready to make another big payday. Let's do the rematch?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Floyd Mayweather loves the attention. He doesn't need the money, but he loves the big stage. And I think he likes having someone say, hey, please come out of retirement. He wants to be called out. He wants to be courted, so to speak. Pacquiao, Mayweather, they're still the two most recognizable names to boxing fans. I think that's a great fight. Even if the first fight didn't meet expectations at 40 and 41 from Mayweather, they've lost a little bit of their speed. Maybe it's more of an action fight now. They have less of their legs under them. And
Mike, I think it's a more compelling fight in this neck. If they rematch, I think that Pacquiao and Mayweather is a more compelling fight than what we saw a few years ago that shattered every number under the sun that was televised live by Showtime pay-per-view. Because as you pointed out, they are in their 40s. They like to sit in the pocket and trade more. I think it's a more exciting fight. I think it's more entertaining. And I could see it being closer than what the first fight was.
Absolutely, and Manny Pacquiao knows that he hurt Floyd Mayweather in that fourth round, even with a bum shoulder. Pacquiao has all the confidence in the world. Mayweather does too, and anytime Floyd Mayweather fights, it's a marquee event. We haven't seen him in a boxing ring since the Conor McGregor fight in August 2017. That was a pay-per-view bonanza as well. For Mayweather to come back and do it against Manny Pacquiao, again, yes, the hardcore boxing fans maybe won't be as excited. This is still going to be an absolute mega fight.
Well, it would be a spectacle. I mean, it would be, I think, a very entertaining fight, fought still at a high level. But the casual fan, when you mention Mayweather, when you mention Pacquiao, those names transcend the sport of boxing.
Yeah, they're the two biggest names in sports, period. Two of the biggest names in sports, period. And I can't wait to see what Floyd Mayweather says after the fight on Saturday. He'll be there ringside. He lives in Las Vegas. We know he's going to have plenty of opinions and thoughts, and he'll be watching with bated breath.
It is Pacquiao Broner next Saturday, January 19th, live on Showtime pay-per-view. Call your local cable or satellite provider. Make sure to go ahead and get ready to check out Manny Pacquiao, Adrien Broner. But here at the Wildcard Boxing Club here in Hollywood, California, Manny Pacquiao is moments away from stepping inside those ropes. He's going to meet with reporters, and then we are going to have a conversation with him. He's going to work out as well. I believe it is Freddie Roach who is going to go ahead and here is Manny Pacquiao. He's in the door as he greets Leonard Ellerby, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, smiling from ear to ear. The Filipino senator is back in the limelight here in the United States, and welcome back, Manny, as Pacquiao gets set for Adrien Broner.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao looks great right now. As always, smiling. He's in tremendous shape. I was listening to what Freddie Roach said about Manny Pacquiao's calves, and they're truly massive, and that's where you get that power from. When you could sit on those punches and you generate the power from your legs, he's coming to knock out Broner. That's what he told me. He wants the knockout, and Freddie's right. He never calls for the knockout. He wants a statement, and he admitted that it does motivate him that everyone's saying Manny Pacquiao's a shell of his former self. He's not the same fighter. He looked ordinary against Jeff Horn a couple of years ago. He wants to prove it to everyone that, yes, even at 40, I'm still the guy, not just a guy.
Well, the narrative, Mike, that we hear prior to this fight with Manny Pacquiao is, I'm looking to put on a good performance for the fans, for the Philippines. I hope we're all safe. In the lead-up, you heard, he told you, I want to knock this guy out. Do you think it is that Broner could have gotten under his skin, or what Freddie was talking about, that because he knocked out Lucas Matisse, he once again realizes how it feels to knock out another guy, and he likes that feeling?
Yeah, when you get a feeling of something like that, you want more of it. You want to feel it again. That's what Manny Pacquiao built his whole reputation and legacy on. Those brutal knockouts. That second-round knockout of Ricky Hatton, where we didn't even know if Ricky Hatton was going to get up, flattened by one single shot. That knockout of Miguel Cotto, David Diaz at 135 pounds.
Well, when he carved up Oscar De La Hoya for crying out loud. And Manny Pacquiao is inside the ring. As you see, Buboy Fernandez as well, the 8-division world champion. Only world champion over 40 years of age is inside the ring as he gets set to wrap his hands.
And that always impresses me, too. Manny Pacquiao always wraps his own hands. He doesn't need anyone to do it. He is a true veteran of the game, and he does it all with a smile on his face. He truly, I think, is enjoying this after not fighting in the U.S. for 2+ years. He missed the attention, he said. He's back in L.A., his adopted home, ready to do his thing, and in another absolute marquee fight.
Well, it's interesting as there was a little bit of, some trash talk between Pacquiao and Broner. And Pacquiao, who has MP promotions, he pretty much told Adrien Broner, he goes, you can go ahead and talk about me. He goes, but I'm promoting you.
Yeah, I love that Manny Pacquiao's personality has really revealed itself and opened up as he's gotten older. He's clearly a lot more comfortable cracking jokes with his English. Of course, his native is Tagalog, and he loves it. He loves joking around. I think you're right. This is the perfect dance partner for Manny Pacquiao. A guy like Adrien Broner who tells jokes, tries to get under your skin. Maybe Manny Pacquiao needs that to go that extra mile to get the knockout, to really press forward. I think it's going to be an action-packed fight. I think that's gotten lost in this. This is going to be an action fight.
Well, you know what I think is potentially getting lost, and Freddie Roach so eloquently illustrated to us, Lucas Matisse is no slouch. And the fact that Manny Pacquiao pulverized this guy by 7th round TKO, I think, and I know it happened in Malaysia, but still I think people need to say he beat Lucas Matisse. Matisse was going in and was still hitting his stride, and Pacquiao wiped him out in 7 rounds.
Lucas Matisse was a guy just a few years ago that was like boxing's boogeyman. They call him the Machine. Rolled over Lamont Peterson in 3 rounds. Yes, he did lose to Danny Garcia, but that was a closer fight. And Lucas Matisse, one of the biggest punchers in the sport, wasn't quite what he once was. But yeah, this was seen as, all right, this is a good fight. Lucas Matisse and Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao coming off a fight with Jeff Horn where, yes, he lost. Most people thought he was robbed, but didn't look his best. And then he just absolutely rolls over Matisse in Malaysia like it was nothing. He showed the same in and out, short bursts of speed, the angles. It was a vintage Manny Pacquiao performance. If he does that to Broner, what do you think people are going to be saying?
Well, they could be saying Manny Pacquiao may have once again found the fountain of youth, and who knows how long this run can go. And again, going back to our conversation with Freddie Roach, Freddie pretty much said, look, I'm going to see how long Manny can go. His work ethic hasn't lessened. It seems like his work ethic has gotten better, which I didn't even know that was possible, but now he seems to be streamlined in his approach. The Philippines have given him an opportunity to squarely focus on this fight, and I think all of that is going to help Manny Pacquiao be the best Manny Pacquiao that we can see at 40 years of age. But as you illustrated, Mike, a Manny Pacquiao 40 years of age is probably better than 99% of fighters out there. And no disrespect to anybody else, but Manny Pacquiao is a once-in-a-lifetime fighter.
Manny Pacquiao is still Manny Pacquiao. The biggest problem with fighters that get all that fame and fortune and the riches that Manny Pacquiao has accumulated during his illustrious career is the motivation there? Marvin Hagler famously said that it's hard to get up and run when you sleep in silk pajamas. But Manny Pacquiao is showing that he still has the fire. He still loves fighting as much as he used to, even at his younger ages. How far can he go? We've seen a lot of guys do it. We talked about Bernard Hopkins earlier, going deep into his 40s. When Bernard Hopkins beat Felix Trinidad, people were like, all right, maybe he can't do much more. And he kept doing it. He beat Antonio Tarver at 45 years old. He beat Jean Pascal at 46. Can we see Manny Pacquiao? I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but can we see Manny Pacquiao do these kind of things maybe, 42, 43?
I think it would be one of the most impressive things that we have seen in the sport because of the fact that Manny Pacquiao started his career at 108. The fact that he wasn't even 110 or above. He started his career that light some nearly 24 years ago in the Philippines. The victories over Barrera, the victories over Morales, the narrow victories over Marquez, then De La Hoya had Miguel Cotto, on and on and on. We can go. The demolition that he did of Antonio Margarito. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's career, we could literally have go down the list in terms of how much Manny Pacquiao continues to further his legacy, and that legacy he hopes to further next Saturday, January 19th, on Showtime pay-per-view against Adrien Broner.
You're right. There's so many great Manny Pacquiao wins that you sometimes forget about some of them. The Antonio Margarito fight, he ruins Margarito. Shattered his orbital bone. Margarito was a monster, and he was never the same again. I mean, the 4 legendary fights with Juan Manuel Marquez, one of the most legendary series of fights in boxing history. The trilogy with Eric Morales, that fantastic first fight. It's amazing that Manny Pacquiao, after all those fights, 70 fights, he still has the opportunity to add to that legendary legacy and possibly move up that all-time ranking.
Well, and also beating Timothy Bradley as well. I mean, Timothy Bradley, former world champion, outstanding fighter, but Manny Pacquiao has never shied away from an opponent, and lo and behold, Adrien Broner will be standing across the ring from him January 19th live on Showtime pay-per-view. Ray Flores, Mike Coppinger, as Pacquiao has his hands wrapped in. His longtime publicist friend Sturberg is there as well, alongside Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, who's going to be catching the mitts. And now Manny Pacquiao will meet the media. And we see Manny Pacquiao is speaking with Jaime Mota.
Of my experience, he will learn.
There we go. We hear Manny Pacquiao meeting with the media.
Now he says that this definitely isn't a fight that he's going to lose, that he's going to derail all your future plans. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm doing my best, and that's a good, that's a good to hear from him that he said like that, because we can give a good fight to the fans.
Now he is a little bit comparable to Mayweather in his style. You see that in the future? Is this part of that plan?
Oh, we don't have plan yet about the future.
Who are you with? Who are you with?
Plan is to fight with Adrien.
You got to go outside. This is just Showtime.
Focus.
We're in the ring.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just Showtime in the ring, guys.
Manny Pacquiao meeting
Thank
with
you.
the media. And
Who's next?
Also,
Right here.
so in the ring
Coming up.
alongside Manny Pacquiao and Michael Blackson.
Good to see you. It's much more here in Los
from-
Angeles.
originally
So,
from Ghana.
Adrien Broner, very
So
experienced
no
opponent,
shortage
has
of
a lot of tools.
quality and luminaries here in attendance at the Wildcard Boxing Club, Mike.
Fighting someone like Adrien Broner.
Manny Pacquiao always brings the stars out. He's a guy that's had tons of commercials. He's adored everywhere he goes. I'm assuming if Manny Pacquiao walks down Hollywood Boulevard, he's getting mobbed, right? Even now.
Absolutely. You know what? Everywhere that Manny Pacquiao goes, people gravitate towards him, especially being the pride and joy of the Philippines. He's a senator. He seems to be totally focused on this fight against Adrien Broner. A family man is Manny Pacquiao. Just turned 40 last year, and I don't know of many athletes in the world, Mike, that when they have a birthday party last month in the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao, they threw him a birthday party for his 40th, and the president of the Philippines attended. So when you have the president of your country coming to your birthday party, I think it just goes to show you in terms of how significant he means to that country.
I don't even know that we have an equivalent of Manny Pacquiao here in the United States. I mean, he's an icon. He's a politician. He's a rock star. He had that album, and
now
Manny-
we'll go back to Manny Pacquiao meeting with the media.
I tell you this, even with I don't have a scheduled fight. I exercise almost every day. I play basketball like 4 hours. Continue. Yes. I love exercise. I feel like tired if I don't exercise.
When you look at what happened yesterday at the Clipper game, you saw Floyd. How confident are you in your heart that that fight, that rematch, will happen again?
Man, I'm not right now. I'm not thinking about my next fight. I'm thinking what I'm thinking is Adrien Broner, because my plan is one at a time. You know, I'm thinking about one at a time.
But you got to have a feeling inside, right? Like a gut feeling.
Well, if he will coming back to boxing, then there's a rematch. I mean, if he want a rematch, there's a rematch, and it's up to him. But right now, my focus still is for this fight, because I'm not taking lightly or underestimate Broner.
Did you tell him yesterday, like, hey, give me a rematch when you saw him at the Clipper game?
No,
Like,
I didn't expect that he was there. I just saw it and oh, he's there.
were you able to tell him anything?
No, just a hello.
Just a handshake?
Yeah.
So, well, he came back in the ring, and it has a lot of people thinking he is going to come back. Did you see that fight that happened in Japan?
Oh, exhibition fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you think?
I just saw exhibition.
A lot of people think it was fake because of the way the other guy fell.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see it?
I don't know.
You don't know? You said that you want to fight the winner of Spence and Garcia. That caught a lot of people by surprise because you're still wanting to fight the top guys at welterweight.
Yeah.
Is that in fact true? You do want the winner of that fight?
That's a good fight. I mean, after 19th, we'll talk about the next fight.
So that's still there, that hunger.
Yeah.
Who wins that fight, by the way? Spence and Garcia.
Spain.
Spence?
No, Spain.
These guys are so big, though, man. You still want to fight them. Spence is a big guy.
Oh, yeah. As long as the
Hard to
same
pick
weight.
against Earl Spence,
Do you
the
see
number one
how
rated
you can
welterweight
beat
in the
Spence?
world right
Do you
now.
see
He's a
that
big
you feel
dude.
your speed,
Fought it out.
Just
your power?
speed and power, yeah.
You think you can beat him?
Oh, yeah.
Spence, yeah? Manny, as always, it's great seeing you. Did you miss all this?
Oh, I missed this one.
Yeah. You
Long
missed
time.
everything, all the cameras.
I know.
Well, good luck. It was good seeing you, and
Thank
I
you.
wish you nothing
Good
but
to
the
see you.
best. Thank you, Manny.
Okay, next, right here.
Hello, Manny. My name is Valerie Connell, and I want to say congratulations again, being one of the boxing number 8 division world champions, the only one. And I want to say congratulations. Everyone's excited about the match coming up, and right now, in regards to moving forward, coming out and again after 2 years of being away from our big Showtime pay-per-view event from ESPN. What are you looking forward to? I know that in the United Kingdom, it will be free. So for the fans, what can the fans expect from you from Showtime for pay-per-view?
Oh, I'm excited to be back here in the United States to fight again. It's been a while. I'm excited to give my best, the still best Manny Pacquiao in the ring at the age of 40, and then that's a big challenge to me.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, over in the United Kingdom, will people in Philippines be able to see as well?
Yes, all over the world, the fans, the boxing fans.
Absolutely. And so everybody wants to know when you win after this fight, what is your perspective? Well, again, you will be willing to fight Floyd Mayweather if he comes out of retirement for you?
One at a time. Let's leave that question mark until January 19th, and let's talk about the next fight.
Yes, and so one thing I do want the world to know is the way that you give and you share. In regards to the Philippines in your area, tell me in regards to uplifting the lives of otherwise they would not have food or would not have shelter. Tell them, the people, how you help them during the Christmas, during your celebration in December.
Since before we help people, especially the families who are in need, we're giving shelter, food, scholarship. We're doing that since before. in my early careers when I started boxing.
Absolutely. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next, Univision. No, sir. Right here. Need the mic?
Thank you. Thank you, Manny. Manny, for a time, people thought maybe we'd never see you training at Wild Card again. That you and Freddie had split, but here we are, thank God. Can you just explain to the fans, like, so that people understand why no Freddie Roach in the last fight, and how did you decide you needed him for this one?
Well, this is not the first time happening to us, but Freddie Roach is never gone in Team Pacquiao. He's still there, always there. So we have no problem. So
you have been an explosive fighter your entire career, but it had been a long time since your last knockout. Your last fight, after 6 years, you got the knockout. What was the difference last time before the last 6 years?
I just blessed and blessed by God for that last fight. I able to knock the guy out, my opponent out, and I'm trying to do the same with this next fight.
You know, you just turned 40, and even superstars know that Father Time is one of the biggest opponents in boxing. Is the age for you at all a consideration? Do you train differently, knowing that you're not as young a man as you used to be?
Well, how I work hard, I think I can still fight. I can still give my best in the ring, and that's a challenge to me, being at the age of 40, and then this is gonna be exciting because I want to give my best at the age of 40.
Everybody knows Adrien Broner emulates Floyd Mayweather. He tries to have the same style, not exactly the same, but similar. Is the Mayweather fight at all something that helps you in this fight, and do you think that Broner is on that same level?
Yes, it helped. My past fight is it will help me to learn about his style, this opponent's style. So we did our job in this training camp, strategy-wise, footwork and movement.
Maybe the most surprising thing about this promotion is that it's like you're working essentially with Mayweather Promotions. You're working with Al Heyman. That's something no one ever thought would ever happen. What's that been like for you, and what is the relationship between you and Floyd now that you're somewhat working together?
I'm working with Al Heyman, and I'm so thankful for this big opportunity for me and to my boxers that I have in the Philippines, and also a big opportunity for them.
And wrapping up, big opportunity for you. You've been with Top Rank essentially your entire career. Why was it time to leave Top Rank and make this move to PPV?
I think I'm not thinking about myself alone, but I'm thinking about my fighters. I have a lot of fighters in the Philippines, more or less 50 boxers, and I want them to have a chance here in America to fight.
There's some in the press lawsuits between you and Bob Arum about money and whether or not you guys are on the same page. What's your relationship like with Bob now, and is the money issue settled between the two of you?
We don't have a problem with Bob Arum. I'm so thankful with him because of him, he helped me a lot of my career here in America, and I don't have a problem with Bob Arum, and I'm really thankful in my life that God used him to help me here in the United States. So thankful to them.
And lastly, Manny, I was a kid when you first walked into this gym many years ago. You're 40 now. So many things have happened in your life and career. Can you talk to me about the Manny Pacquiao who came in here on that first day and the difference between him and the Manny Pacquiao who stands here before us right now?
It's a big difference because when I first time I walk in this gym, I was kid and young, and now we achieve and accomplish a lot in boxing. So thankful to God for everything.
The biggest lesson you've learned?
The biggest lesson to learn is do not compare it.
And listen to Fred Sternberg. Radio Raheem with the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao here at Wildcard Boxing Gym. We can't wait to see you work on Saturday the 19th against Adrien Broner. Thank you, champ.
Right. Face. I want you to face Jim.
You talking about earlier about your age. You are 40. Don't it hurt when you get hit at this age?
40?
Don't you get hurt when my kids hit me? It hurts.
We did that thing.
It's painful when you're 40 years old. You're going to be okay.
I'm okay.
You're making a lot of money from this fight. What are you going to do with all that money?
Give it to the poor.
Give it to the poor because you don't wear Versace, Gucci, nothing. You come in here with Goodwill outfit. What you do with all that money, Pacquiao? You going to give me some?
We have to be people. We have to be people.
Help the poor. After you help the poor, it's going to be millions left. We're going to do all of that. Can you get a haircut at least? You get a haircut?
Haircut.
Okay, give him a haircut, please.
And also...
Yeah, shave your beard.
Manny.
We're going in order, guys.
Manny, at this point in your career on the All Access episode, we saw much more focus on your humanitarian work than your preparation for the fight. Is it more important to you to shine more light on that now than your actual preparation for the fight?
Well, humanitarian is I'm doing that since before. It just happened that they take a video of that, but I'm doing that open, giving shelter for the people and food and scholarship.
We've seen so many images of you over the years running with people when you take your run, and hundreds of people like to come out and run with you. Do you feel like you'd be a little lonesome if you didn't have all these people running with you? Do you ever run alone, or do you need the people to come with you?
I love to have people around me while I'm running and give me inspiration and determination to focus, and I can more focus with people around me than alone.
Has there been any concerns with what's happening on your opponent's side that you won't get to the fight date, or are you confident that the fight will happen on the day as planned?
Definitely the fight will happen, and he will be able to make the fight.
And what do you think of him stylistically? When you see his past fights, what is your opinion on Adrien Broner's style and how he fights?
Style-wise, he's fast, he can move. He's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate. And,
is that your favorite style of fight to be across from in the ring?
Well,
since styles make fights?
I want to fight it. I want to fight in that style because a few boxer that I fought before in the same style.
And lastly, just a final message to your fans in the Philippines who will be tuning in for the picture.
Thank you. I would like to thank all the fans, especially the Filipino people who are always there and supporting me and praying for me. And of course, all over the world, the fans, thank you so much for your support. Please watch this coming January 19th against Adrien Broner in Las Vegas. Thank you.
Right here, Manny.
Manny, your opponent is facing criminal charges. What's your opinion of this character, this person?
I'm not. I don't want to put myself higher than him or righteous than him. I just have. Of course, I'm praying that he will resolve his problems, and then he will get through with this problem. And I mean, I just want to share a good life outside the ring.
Do you think this will affect the fight at all?
I don't think so.
You're a huge NBA fan. Who do you have in the NBA Finals? Who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals?
There's a lot of strong teams. Golden State, Lakers, Toronto, Milwaukee, a lot of Houston Rockets.
Who would you love to play one-on-one?
Floyd.
Do you want to fight Floyd next?
One-on-one, playing basketball.
Would you beat him? You versus Floyd one-on-one basketball. How would that go? Would you beat him?
That's good.
Yeah?
I can play, yeah.
We have another pay-per-view event.
I can play.
So would you rather play him on the basketball court than fight him?
Anywhere.
Last but not least, who would you rather fight, Floyd or Conor? Who would you rather fight?
Boxer.
A boxer, so Floyd. Are we going to see a rematch?
I don't know yet. Let's focus first this January 19th.
Any predictions for how this fight's going to end?
I don't have prediction, but I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job to do the same with my last fight, and you know, just want to focus to this fight and then to win. And then let's talk about the next fight.
God bless you, Manny. Thank you.
Thank you. Right over here, Manny. You have your water.
Okay.
Find out. We're right here.
Hi.
See you.
You bet. Anytime.
I get you to scoot.
Where's your camera?
Sorry, it's kind of far. Okay.
You alone? You alone?
Yeah, I always work alone. Helene here with Eyes on the Game. I'm being...
Lorenz!
Oh, sorry, my camera.
Sorry.
Sorry. Celia. Helene here with Eyes on the Game. I'm being joined by the legend, Manny Pacquiao. Now, you are coming off an impressive win over Lucas last July. First off, how's this camp been for you?
Training camp is doing good. We did a good job, and the coaches and me, we did a lot of things in this training camp, and to do the same with my last fight.
Yeah, looking at Adrien Broner, what do you think about his style, and what do you hope to capitalize on in this fight?
Adrien Broner is a good, also a caliber fighter. He's fast, he moves fast, and he's the kind of fighter that you cannot take him lightly. You have to make to be serious and focus to the fight.
And did I read somewhere that you're hoping, if the opportunity arises, to stop him, right?
Well, we'll grab that opportunity if that opportunity will come.
And then also yesterday, I know you were at the Clippers game. Floyd was there. You guys shook hands. What did he tell you?
Oh, we just shook hands and just say hello, and then I didn't expect that he was there at the game, so it just happened.
Yeah, and if he does want the rematch too, is that something you want?
I don't have. I'm not thinking about my next fight, but I'm thinking about the fight on January 19th. You know, my plan is one at a time. It's hard to talk about the future fight until we finish this January 19th. And then, like I said, we cannot underestimate the Adrien Broner. Is a caliber fighter, and then he's a good boxer.
And lastly, what do you hope to prove in this fight?
Well, to prove that Manny Pacquiao can still fight, and then at the age of 40, I'm excited to give my best and to show the people, the fans, that I'm still here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Manny, how did you prepare for this fight against Broner?
We work hard. We did a lot of things in this training camp to do the same like the last fight. We're so happy and excited for this January 19th fight.
Okay. Talk to Broner. What's your message for him?
God bless the both of us in January 19th.
One more. Hamunin mo siya. What's your message for Broner?
Do your job and I will do my job. And let's give our best in the ring to entertain people.
Thank you, sir.
Manny, Valerie, and Jana for Eagle News Sports. Hello, Manny. Nice to meet you.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back here in the United States and fight again in MGM ground.
Good. Have you been watching previous fights of Broner, and do you know there are any pros and cons of him as a fighter?
Yes, I saw his style, his fights. We're prepared for that.
Good. Did you involve your kid at all in your training session against Broner?
My kids?
Yeah, because oftentimes you train with them.
My kids, they want to box, but I told them not, because boxing is not easy.
And a lot of people talk about your age. 40 is really impressive to still be boxing. What advice would you give your 20-year-old self now as a seasoned boxer?
All I can advise them is discipline and work hard, believe yourself and believe to God.
and everyone saw that you were at the Clippers game yesterday, kind of interacting with Floyd Mayweather. What exactly were you guys talking about there?
I just say hello. I didn't expect that he was there in the fight, in the game. I was there because I was invited for Filipino Heritage.
Very nice. Do you see yourself going into another sport after boxing? Maybe basketball?
Basketball.
Okay, good. Are you coming up with any albums for singing?
I have a new album, but I didn't record yet.
Oh, what is that album called, and what's your inspiration for that album?
My new album is for the inspiration for the Philippines.
Good. Last question.
Manny, during Christmas, you were very generous with the people in your hometown in the Philippines. Will you continue to help them after boxing and during boxing?
I'm always doing that since before. It just happened that somebody was taking a video and like that. But I'm doing that since when I started my career in boxing.
Good. And then can you do a sign up for us? Can you do this? Is Manny Pacquiao with Eagle News Sports?
This is Manny Pacquiao with Eagle News Sports.
Thank you.
One question? Go ahead. Excuse us.
Sorry.
What are your dreams to victory for this fight?
I'm gonna go.
Keys to victory in this fight.
I don't think will. Yeah, she will.
Good luck. What are your keys to victory for this fight?
The key to victory in this fight is work hard, focus to the fight, and head movement, throwing a lot of combination pressure. That's the key.
Manny,
what do you want to say to your fans back home in the Philippines?
Thank you to all your support and love that you gave it to me. I really appreciate it, and pray for me for the success.
Manny, what do you want to say to the people in my hometown of Carson, California?
Carson, California. Hello to every one of you there. Please don't miss it. Watch this coming January 19th.
That's
it's going to
right.
be a good fight.
I'll see you ringside, my brother. I'll see you ringside with
How you feel being back at the Wild Party?
Nice to be back here, and I'm happy.
And what's the difference when working out with Boo Boy and Freddie? What kind of different stuff do they do?
There's no different because Boo Boy knows what we do in the past, and
what could a knockout do for your legacy if you knock out Broner?
I think it will add to my career as a boxer, and then also it's good for me to have a good fight in this January 19th, because this is my first fight being at the age of 40.
And was that an easy transaction to go to PVC from Top Rank? Was it easy for you? Like everything business-wise?
Business-wise, it's good because I able to have to give a chance to my boxers. I have a lot of boxers, and they will able to have a fight here in America.
Thank you.
1 second. KCBS right here.
CBS.
What are some keys for you to get this win next Saturday?
The keys to win, pressure, throwing a lot of punches, keep busy, head movement.
What do you want your fans to expect from you for this fight?
Well, I will do my best to give a good fight and to do the same like the last fight. I mean, this is a challenge for me because this is my first fight at the age of 40.
You bet. Next.
Doing my best to do the same this in the last fight.
What was that feeling like when you got that knockout the last fight?
Oh, you will remember the early days. I don't know.
What do you want to take advantage of a Broner in this fight? This fight coming up, what are you going to take advantage of?
Taking advantage is I have to make sure that I'm not careless in the ring and aggressive throwing a lot of punches, power punches.
Now he's going to try to counterpunch you. What's your defense against that?
I know that. That's the only way that he can fight me.
Broner's come up short in his biggest fights. Does that make him a more dangerous opponent?
Yes, Broner he's a kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate or take him lightly. He's a former champion and he's a good boxer.
Can you compare the differences in promotions? You've had the opportunity to work with Bob Arum on one side. Now you're working with PBC on this side. Can you elaborate on just the differences that has been?
I don't want to compare promoter to promoter. I don't want to, I don't want them to fight each other. But it's good. I'm so thankful with this PBC because I'm able to have a chance to bring my fighters here, fighters here in America to have a fight here, and also I'm so thankful to PBC also because of this great opportunity with fighting with Broner, and the good thing is my fighters in the Philippines can fight here.
When's the last time you talked about it? Are you guys so friendly?
Oh yeah, I have no problem with Bob. I'm so thankful to Top Rank Promotion, Bob Arum, for everything that he has done. He helped me a lot for my career.
Are you more comfortable with Freddie Rose back in your corner for this fight?
Oh yeah. Freddie Rose never out in Team Pacquiao.
But he wasn't there the last couple of fights, so I was
just one fight, and this is not the first time happening to us. It happened before.
You're an 8th division world champion. You're probably the expert on Mikey Garcia moving up in weight against Errol Spence. Do you give Mikey Garcia a chance against Errol Spence? And if so, how can he win?
Well, he need to work hard. I mean, move fast. Speed is the key. Speed is the key to win.
Who do you have winning that fight, Errol Spence or Mikey Garcia?
I think Spence has his advantage.
And I heard you want to fight him. You're eager to fight him.
Oh yeah.
You said that on your Instagram or something like that.
The winner. He wants to get opposed.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being on time for the last 15 years. I appreciate it.
I got it last night. I think I'm leaving.
Walang pagbabago yung training natin, pero yung time lang. May changes sa time na mag-ensayo natin. Mas inaalalayan natin yung body natin to recover than to pushing all the time.
And ano po may expect ng mga viewers po natin sa laban?
A good fight, exciting fight. It's gonna be a good fight.
And kagabi po, kamusta naman po yung experience po sa Clippers game po? Yun po ay Filipino Heritage Night. Nakita niyo po si Floyd Mayweather. Ano po masasabi po niyo po?
I'm so thankful that they invited me to be there in a Filipino Heritage Night, Clippers game. I didn't expect that Floyd Mayweather was there. Nagkataon lang.
Thank you. Anong ginawang paghahanda despite na pagiging staff?
Did you get one? Training every day. The same routine.
Ano ba plano nyo gawin after ng laban? Plano nyo gawin
after ng laban na to, balik sa Pilipinas, may trabaho.
Nanalaro pa kayo sa UNC dito?
Yeah.
Pwede namin kayo i-guess sa Pilas dito sa Hollywood?
Sige po, pagka may time.
Thank you.
One more pose.
Thank you.
All right, let me step over this way. Manny?
Where's your camera?
Right here. The big bright one.
Yes.
We good? Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with none other than Manny Pacquiao. Manny, can I sing you happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Manny Pacquiao.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Manny. Most people at 40 are looking to retire. They're pretty much at the end of their careers, but you've managed to avoid father time. How?
Discipline. Thankful to God for a good health that He has given me. Discipline, work hard, don't get lazy.
Now, boxing and politics, both challenging jobs, but which one would you say is the hardest to sort of maintain these days?
Both is hardest, but it's different. Sport is different, boxing is different, and public service is different.
So training's a bit harder than passing bills, eh?
Training is hard.
Yeah. Explain to me how it feels emotionally and spiritually to be in a position of power and influence and to be able to help millions of people.
It's feel good when you help people and when you do your job correctly, when you serve the people honestly. It's feel, you know, the happiness, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain your happiness when you're able to help them who are in need.
Now, Adrien Broner, of his 3 losses, and after studying tape and whatnot with your team, what have you been able to, is there some sort of common denominator that you've seen in his losses?
Adrien Broner is a kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate. He's a former champion, and
did you see anything in common with his losses to Garcia, Maidana, Porter? Was there anything in it when you were studying tape that you saw?
Oh yeah. I know that I need to be aggressive, right?
Sorry, say it again?
I need to be aggressive.
Aggressive. So come forward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Senator Pacquiao, and Happy New Year's. And anything you'd like to say to the fight fans?
Thank you to all the fans for always being there and supporting us. Please watch this coming January 19th against Adrien Broner in Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, fight fans.
Hey guys, joined here with A Division World Champion Senator Manny Pacquiao. Manny, it's very interesting to be able to call a fighter a senator. How happy, how blessed do you feel that you're able to do 2 things that you love, boxing and help back to your community?
I'm so happy for being a boxer and a public servant. Helping the people is my desire, and it's my mission.
All right, well, last summer we saw you come in very aggressive and knock out Lucas Matisse in the 7th round. So is that the same idea this time, to come out hot and knock out Adrien Broner?
Well, we're doing our best in training for this fight and trying to do the same with the last fight.
When studying Adrien Broner, do you see weaknesses in his game, having already losses in his record?
Adrien Broner, my opponent, I never take him lightly. I never underestimate him. We saw a couple weakness of him, but I will not say that in interview.
Right. You can't give it with a serious. I completely understand. Well, Adrien Broner, we know that he likes to talk, and he mentioned not too long ago that he envisions beating you by knockout, but he was very specific. He said that he envisions, I don't know if you heard this, that he wants to be like Marquez did. That he says that he can knock you out with 1 punch. When you hear that, what do you make of that?
Well, I'm prepared with that. I learned in the past, it will not happen again.
He says that you have the speed, but that he has the timing. Do you compare his timing and his level to that of the level of Marquez?
I know that, but we're prepared. Like I said, we're prepared for this fight.
All right, and last time we saw you be very cordial and say hello to Mayweather. You guys seem to always find each other at basketball games. How eager do you want that opportunity to show the world that a healthy Manny Pacquiao can beat Floyd Mayweather?
This fight, you will see Manny Pacquiao. This is my challenge this January 19 to fight again, if possible, get me ready. But my focus, not thinking about the next fight. My focus is this fight against Broner.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Good luck on fight night, Manny. Thank you.
Who's next? Right here.
Manny, in your corner. What was that first conversation like, brother, when you came back here and talked to Freddie? What was that conversation?
Freddie was never out of the team. Never out. It's not, this is not the first time that it happened this way. It happened in the past that in one fight Freddie is not there. So
what's it be like back here, kind of back home, back in the house that you built?
Nice to be back here. I'm happy. I'm excited to fight again, especially in Vegas.
Adrien Broner has some high-profile losses in his career. He tends to kind of maybe go in his shoulder he's not winning and not getting the better of the fight.
We have
kind of put pressure on him to try to get him out of there.
We have a good strategy and techniques for this fight. We know Broner's style, and he's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate and take him lightly. We want to make sure that for this training camp, we did a lot of things. We did our best to bring to the fight.
What's the biggest attribute that you really pay attention to? Or is there one?
Well, I think for this fight, aggressiveness.
Do you just kind of finally, when you kind of go to bed at night, do you see yourself? Do you see it a knockout? Do you see this decision victory? How do you see the fight end?
Knockout will come if giving me opportunity to have that moment, and then I will grab that opportunity.
What's the biggest difference between 25-year-old Manny Pacquiao and 40-year-old?
I'm more experienced right now compared before. What I experienced in the past, that's what I learned. I learned a lot in the past.
We love seeing you, man, but how much longer are you going to be around doing this?
I'm still here. I'm not gone. I can still fight. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat. Mabilis lang ang mga questions ko, okay? So, in English though. For real. So, can you tell me why are you going to beat Adrien Broner on January 19th?
Adrien Broner, we pick Adrien Broner because we believe that Adrien Broner can give a good fight and we can entertain people, the fans, and this kind of fighter that you cannot take him lightly.
And then how does your training regimen now differ now than your first title fight?
The training camp is still the same. The training what we did is the same, but we just we make just a little adjustment of the time recovery, because not like before. In overnight you can recover right away, but this time we also look for my condition and body condition.
Okay, and then how does Broner pose any challenges for you that you haven't seen before in the ring?
What?
Does Broner pose any different challenges for you that you haven't seen before in the ring? Does his fight style different?
I think about his style, I know his style and I experienced that style before, and I know what I'm gonna do in the ring.
And then what's your prediction for how the fight plays out?
I don't have any prediction, but it's gonna be a good fight. More action in the ring.
Okay, salamat.
Right here.
So at age 40, do you still have that knockout power that you've became so famous for?
I still have that one.
Yeah?
God is good.
God is good. And at 40, where do you see your career trajectory going? I mean, are you lining up fighters down the road, or are you taking it one fight at a time?
One at a time. One at a time. Especially at the age of 40. It's hard to think about the future fights. Just one at a time.
And what would you like your legacy to be when you hang up the gloves?
Talking about legacy, my legacy is already there. I want to be my legacy. I want to be an inspiration to the fans, the people, not only inside the ring but outside the ring.
Yeah, and you want to be the president of the Philippines.
Well, Well, if that God wants me to be, then why not? But I'm not thinking about that right now.
The current president's been criticized for cracking down on crime there. Do you think it's gone too far?
I know. Yeah, he did a lot of good things in the Philippines. I think big accomplishment.
Floyd Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor and then this fight in Japan. What do you think of that? Does that lessen his legacy? Would you do something like that when you're retired?
I won't do that. I won't do that.
Do you think it's cheapens the sport of boxing when he does these sort of exhibition matches?
I don't know, but if I'm Floyd, I won't do that.
You would, or?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it? Why not?
Well, exhibition match and then you knock him out, supposedly exhibition, so it's not good for the fans.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much for your time.
Here with boxing legend Manny Pacquiao for K-Side Press. Marvel. Any water? Okay, the champ stayed hydrated.
Oh, Manny Pacquiao. Picture?
Thank you, Manny. I'm here with 8th Division World Champion Manny Pacquiao. Manny, a lot of people are saying you're a legend, you fought so many big names. Is there still a goal you have to accomplish? Is it just the love of fighting? What keeps you motivated?
I'm happy with my accomplishment in my career. I just want to maintain my name in the top and as inspiration to the people.
Now, a lot of people talk about, so much crossover. You see guys like the Conor McGregor doing UFC and then boxing. I have a question for Manny Pacquiao. If you were a young man, do you think you would ever try the MMA or the UFC, or do you think you would have stayed with boxing your first love?
I would stay in boxing.
Talking about Adrien Broner, obviously he's a young guy. What is the biggest threat he poses to you?
He's fast. He's former champion. He's kind of a fighter. He's kind of a fighter that you cannot underestimate.
What's it like to have Freddie Roach back in the corner? We know obviously you had a bit of a break, but now being back together, what is the feeling like to have him in the team again?
It feels good to work with Freddie again and to work here, to be back here in the United States, fight again in Las Vegas. So I'm excited for this.
Final question, how do you predict the fight going down next Saturday?
My only prediction is going to be a good fight, and I'm going to do my best.
Manny, best of luck, we look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you from Manny back to USA, fight again, and share with you Filipino people here in USA? How you feel?
I'm excited and happy to be back here in United States to fight again and to give my best as a 40 years old.
Most important, have Freddie Roach and Buboy in the same team. Most important for you?
Very important to have Buboy and Freddie Roach in the corner and Justin and the team. So important the team is united and we did a good job in this training.
You are ready to fight with Mayweather. Why is it different between Mayweather and Broner? Why is it different for you?
I'm not thinking about Floyd Mayweather. I'm thinking about Adrien Broner. My plan this time is one at a time. I'm not planning for the future fight, but focus for this fight.
And finally, how is important the support of you people in Philippines and the USA people too, Latino people support you. Everybody support Manny. What's important for you?
It's very important to have the support of the Filipino people and also the fans all over the world, especially the Mexican people. Thank you so much and really appreciate it. And it will help boxing industry.
You can say a message for you Latino people?
Quiero dar sa público mexicano. Que venga a la gran pelea entre Manny Pacquiao y Adrien Broner. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Manny.
Will you record another song after this fight? Will you record another song after this fight?
After this fight. After this fight.
Manny, you never predict a knockout, but for this fight, you said you want to knock him out in 7 rounds or less. Why do you say that this time? You never say this.
No, I never predict the fight. I said I'm trying my best to do the same, give my best, and like the last fight. I mean, but I'm not predicting. Doing my job in this training camp. Good.
People that know boxing, they think Broner's good, but he doesn't throw enough punches to beat you. What do you think of Broner when you watch him?
Broner, when I watch him, he's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate. You cannot take him lightly. He's a former champion. He can punch, and you have to be focused and don't overconfident.
A lot of people thought you beat Jeff Warren, but then when you fought Matisse, they said you look better than you had in years. Why did you look so good in that fight?
Because I just want to prove that Manny Pacquiao is still there.
Okay, and Manny, I gotta ask, man, because you've done it all. So why do you still want the rematch with Floyd Mayweather when you've done it all?
He's retired already, so I'm not thinking about that. My focus is the fight on January 19th.
But what could you do differently in a rematch? Have you thought ever what you could do differently?
Can we leave that question mark until
after the fight?
January 19th?
Okay, well I gotta ask you too then. We never got to quite, before you left Top Rank, we never got to see Crawford, Why did those fights not happen, Crawford and Lomachenko?
I don't know. I want that fight happen before, but I don't know what happened.
How would it have went with Crawford, you think?
Crawford in May, that's a good fight.
How would you have beat him?
Supposed to be. Fast and power can change the style.
And last one, Manny. How hungry are you still? And is there anything you want to say to the fans? And what's keeping you hungry?
I'm still hungry, and I just want to say thank you to all the fans for making me focus and giving me inspiration. Thank you so much. Please watch this coming fight against Adrien Broner on January 19th.
Good luck. Salamat.
I'm hungry too. Manny. What do you think the biggest difference between you and Broner's fighting style is? What do you think? What do you think you offer differently? Sorry. Okay, so what do you think the biggest obstacle is in fighting Broner? What do you think his most dangerous weapon is?
Broner, I'm sure he will counter me. He will counter straight, so he will do the same with Marquez. But like I said, I learned in the past. I learned that, and it will not happen again.
Definitely.
Manny, hi. Thank you for talking to us. If you can please answer my questions in English and then in Tagalog for your fans at home. Okay. What's your condition like going into this fight? How's it going?
My condition for this fight is I'm 100% condition. I'm ready to the fight. Ang condition ko ngayong laban na to 100%. Handa na ako sa laban at ready na.
What are your challenges in fighting Broner? How's it changing your training, and can you talk a little bit about strategy?
The challenge is the fighting with Broner. We did a lot of things in training. We make a strategy that can use that it will use in the fight. Marami kaming ginawa dito sa training na to. Mga strategy na pwede magamit sa taas ng ring against Adrien Broner.
Okay. Hey, can you talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on Mayweather fighting Nakasura? What is that, the kickboxer, the Japanese kickboxer? What are your thoughts on that fight?
I thought it's an exhibition, but what I know in exhibition is just to entertain people and then nothing serious like that. Akala ko exhibition lang, pero ang pagkakalam ko sa exhibition ay laro-laro lang at i-entertain ang people, ang tao, ang mga audience at hindi umabot sa mga knockout.
Okay. And lastly, last question. Is this fight with Broner maybe a warm-up to a rematch with Mayweather?
I'm not thinking about that. With the next fight. What I'm thinking is to focus, to give a good show to the fans. Hindi ako nag-isip ng gano'n ng rematch against Mayweather. Itong laban na to, kailangan magseryoso ako at kailangan may panalo.
Okay. Hey, just one more. What can we expect to see on this fight?
You can expect a good fight, more action in the ring for this fight, and people will make happy. Asahan nyo itong laban na to. asahan ninyo na maraming action na mangyayari sa taas ng ring at masisiyahan ng lahat ng manonood.
Thank you very much.
You make me a double job. You're making me a hard time. English and Tagalog.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Hi, Manny. Hi. They want that. That's my cousin. Yeah? Look. Ready? Ready? You don't believe? Look it.
Like Sam wants
Son.
to right now.
So, Conte. Yeah, you believe me. You know what? Let me just swear. Let me just swear for you. Team Pacquiao, which side do you want? This one? No, this one. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Everyone, I'm Sonia Conte for Ring TV, and I've got Senator Manny Pacquiao, the only 8-division world champion. You are a senator, probably next to be the next Philippines president, and the one who's going to be very victorious against Broner, January 19th, Showtime pay-per-view. Am I right?
Yes.
You will? You will. You can speak Tagalog to me. I understand, like, Conte.
Conte lang?
Conte, like my last name, Conte.
Conte lang yung Tagalog mo?
Yeah, and like, mabuhay, and I can sing Gaano. I did. Yeah, I do. Gaano ka, kakamahal, or something like that, or Ako ay Filipino. You sing. What do you want to say? Ikaw lang ang aking ibigin magkailanman. I got you to sing. That's all I wanted to do. All right. So you're here today. 2 years you haven't fought here in U.S. Welcome back. You're here with Freddie Roach. You walked through those doors 15 years ago. He said you will never know who the next Muhammad Ali will be, and you came in. You're here with Boo Boy. How does it feel to be training here at Wildcard again?
I'm so happy to be back here in Wildcard Gym, training with Boo Boy and Freddie. Nice to be back here in the United States to fight against Las Vegas.
Exactly. When he says that he's going to beat you, he's going to put you to sleep with his timing. I mean, you got a lot more in your roll those eyes. What do you think of that? I mean, he's a character. What do you think when he says things like that?
It's easy to say that words. Hard to do it.
Yeah.
It will not happen.
It will not. What do you predicted a knockout? How important is that for you to have that knockout feeling again? I know you had it with Matite, but to keep continuing that.
Well, doing my job in training. We did a lot of things in training camp, so trying my best to give a good fight. To do the same in the last fight, a good fight.
Did you invite the president, Duterte? Is he gonna come?
Not yet.
We have an invite for you if you want to come. Now, lastly, you have solidified your legacy. Why do you continue to fight? You are a senator. You are a busy man. You are a father. You are a husband. Why do you want to continue to fight? You're 8-division world champion. What more do you need to prove to yourself and to yourself? What more do you need to prove?
I continue fighting because boxing is my passion. Public service is different. It's my mission.
Yeah.
And then bring honor to my country is my priority and legacy, especially this boxing.
You know, you've come a long way. I watched your documentary the other day, and for you to be running with no shoes, you went to Manila without your mom knowing, and you told her, "I'm coming here because I need to make money." You became the father of the family at 6 years old, right? Or your family, and now you're here. You are a national hero. God, you know, so I'm a Filipino American, and I thank you very much. What can your fans expect to see of you January 19th?
Expect a good fight, action in the ring, and best Manny Pacquiao.
In Tagalog, you can say Tagalog. Your fans in the Philippines, let's see. In General Santos. And so in Visayan also you could do it. You don't know what to say? Mabuhay. No, I don't know. What do you want to say? English?
Okay, to all the fans in the Philippines, sa aking mga kababayan, gawin ko lahat ng makaya para manalo at makapagdala ng karangalan sa ating bansa.
Okay, and you know what? Happy belated birthday. Happy 40th. There's a gift that someone wanted to give you.
Yes.
Come on in. What is
How you
this?
doing, Manny? So this is this is a company, American company, jewelry maker. They're designer and a manufacturer of of individual pieces of jewelry. This is a 14-karat piece. It's commemorative for the fight. It has the Pacquiao Broner insignia on the back.
Oh, thank you.
We have one for Adrien. We have one for yourself. The Bixler and Showtime wanted you to have it. Yes, they're making them in gold and sterling silver. Thank you, Manny. Very great day. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Over here, look.
And then right
Thanks,
here.
champ.
Over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, dear brother. May I hold that?
Good luck to you, Manny.
Thanks. You want to say after me? Your training section.
Yeah.
Senator, kwento nyo nga po yung pagkikita nyo kahapon ni Mayweather. Sino po ba ang una nakapansin na natin sa loob ng arena?
Nung umupo na kami sa bench, doon sa front row, somebody told me that Floyd Mayweather is here in the game.
After mitts, we go over the
Oh yeah, sabi ko, oh yeah? Okay. Then nung nagtapon ako ng mga damit sa crowd, then nakita ko siya, then nagkamay lang.
Ano pong sinabi niyo po sa kanya para may
Wala, kamay lang. How are you?
Kamay lang po.
Parang seeing Floyd na-motivated ka na to make sure that there's a Pacquiao Mayweather 2 na? Does it kind of inspire you to make a second fight with him?
I don't know. My focus is Adrien Broner. I want to focus this fight first before we discuss about the future fight, the next fight. Siguro, what we're gonna do is let's this question hanging until January 19. Okay?
Ano po pwede natin sabihin sa mga kababayan po natin na nag-aabang na sumusuporta sa inyo sa Pilipinas?
Ay, maraming salamat sa ating mga kababayan na laging nagmamahal at sumusuporta para sa atin ang lahat ng karangalan na ito, para sa inyo ang laban na ito, especially those people who are in need. At least makatulong na naman ako sa kanila. May mga, siyempre every fight na inaano ko, after every fights ko, pagbalik ko sa Pilipinas, talagang I give back to the people.
Regardless, is the last time you did media days a wild card. I don't know, what's it like just seeing
at the mga ibang reporters walking around the ring?
We miss doing this for a while. Ang tagal lang natin hindi nagkaganito, so na-miss mo nakaka-miss yung mga ganito.
Sa lahat,
Masaya.
Sa lahat po ng tanong, sa age na 40, ano pa po ba ang mapapakita ng isang Manny Pacquiao?
I-maintain na lang siguro kung ano yung naipakita natin noon nung bata tayo. We can still prove that we have that speed and strength and movement in the ring.
Ready na po ba sa laban? About 10 days na lang po.
Ready na. Thank you.
Okay, PLA right here. Ready?
Manny!
Manny Pacquiao ha dicho que va a quedarse en el
Manny to break roach every time he says about work?
Yes, we have a good training camp with Freddy Ross and Buboy. It's nice to be back here in Wildcard. Nice to be back to fight here in the United States in Las Vegas.
I know it's going to be a great fight, champ. What is the difference of training now that you're going to fight with Broner?
There's a difference because Broner's style is different. It's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate and take him light.
Man, there's a lot of love that you receive, Manny Pacquiao. How do you feel, man?
I feel excited and happy to be back here and happy that the love of the people, the love of the fans is still there supporting me, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So you want to fight Mayweather? When is going to happen?
I'm not thinking about that. I don't have that. We don't have plan like that. My focus is to Adrien Broner, and my plan of my career is one at a time. You know, let's finish this fight first, and leave that question until January 19th.
Champ, what is the key to be successful in life? What is the key to be successful in life?
To be successful in life is the key to be successful in life is to believe God, believe yourself, and do not take advantage from others. Love one another, be nice, do not be arrogant, be generous to everybody, be kind, everything.
Do you have your quiet time every day with God? You do. Yeah, because I just learned that it's important to have your quiet time. Yeah, it is to have a relationship with the Lord. And I love that.
I'm building my relationship to the Lord every day in my life, day and night. We read the Bible. My motivation is our devotion with my family is reading the Bible daily.
And that's what it keeps you really united and really humble.
Yes. All I have done, and all I have accomplished, I didn't put here.
And Manny, that's why I can see, that you receive so much love. But let me ask you something. What is another dream that you want to reach?
Is to be an inspiration to the people, not only being a boxer, being a fighter, but being a person, being an inspiration to everyone as a person.
And how many words do you know in Spanish?
Huh?
How many words do you know in Spanish?
I don't have Spanish.
No, mucho dinero. Any song in Spanish that you sing? La Bamba?
No, Chayanne.
Chayanne? Which one?
Chayanne.
¿Tu pirata soy yo?
La Dehara.
Can you sing that song? Oh, we need to play the music first. No, thank you so much, Manny Pacquiao.
Thank you.
May you keep glad to see you and your family, champ.
God bless you.
We love you, champ.
Okay, you can start working.
They gotta come by though first.
So Manny Pacquiao has finished talking to the media. He's now going to work out, and we are going to have a conversation with Manny Pacquiao coming up in a few moments. Ray Flores, Mike Coppinger. Happy New Year, everybody, as we're here at the Wild Card Boxing Club here in Hollywood, California, as we get set for Manny Pacquiao, Adrien Broner, next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view. Mike, obviously, Manny Pacquiao is back here in the United States for the first time in 2 years. The buzz is at a fever pitch. He had an opportunity to talk with a lot of the media. He will have a conversation with us. But what are some things that you took away from Manny Pacquiao's conversations with the media?
Manny Pacquiao reiterated that he wants a shot at Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia winner, and that's an enormous fight. And it's a fight that people would really are laughing at. They're like, oh, Manny Pacquiao can't fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence is too big for Manny Pacquiao and too good, too young. But that shows just what this Broner fight is all about. This isn't about one fight for Manny Pacquiao. This is about carving out a legacy in the second half of his career and the last leg of it, and proving that, yes, not only can he fight in Errol Spence, but he should be taken seriously in that kind of fight.
Well, there is a lot of excitement when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. Freddie Roach was beaming about Pacquiao, stating that this is the best he's ever seen Pacquiao. This is the most dangerous Manny Pacquiao that we have witnessed in over 23 years as a professional. Will that come to fruition next Saturday night on Showtime pay-per-view? We will certainly find out as you see that Manny Pacquiao preparing to hit the pads alongside Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is actually going to be catching and holding the mitts for Manny Pacquiao. Yesterday was Boo Boy Fernandez. Today it is Freddie Roach's turn. And Freddie actually has stated in interviews prior that he may need a heavier and more of a chest protector because of how hard that Manny Pacquiao is hitting.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao, to me, looks stronger than ever. He just his physique. It's like he's really grown into that 147 pounds body after so many years fighting at 108 pounds and then climbing up from 126 all the way to 54. Now at 40 years old, Freddie Roach said that his calves are double the size. That's where he gets all that power from. And yeah, we're going to watch Manny Pacquiao here with Freddie Roach. It's always it's a spectacle just to watch Manny Pacquiao work out, just to watch him, lay those punches in.
Well, he has literally one speed, and that is just constant feints and using his jab, followed by that lethal straight left hand that has been the end to so many top-level and Hall of Fame fighters. As the names, the list goes on and on. Victories over Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, Sugar Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya, Antonio Margarito, just recently having picked up a 7th-round stoppage over Lucas Matisse back on July 15th in Malaysia. Certainly a first-ballot Hall of Famer is Manny Pacquiao, but that energy and his legs are underneath him. He does not look 40 years of age, Mike.
I think also a lot of people forget just how good Manny Pacquiao looked before that controversial decision loss to Jeff Horn in Australia. Pacquiao had scored wins over Jesse Vargas, who we just ran into a little bit ago at the gym today. That was a really good win. He looked good against Jesse. Manny Pacquiao rolled over Tim Bradley just a couple of years ago, a guy that had been operating on a pound-for-pound level. And then there was the one fight against Jeff Horn, which I think everyone besides those judges thought he won. And everyone after that seemed to kind of write Manny Pacquiao off. And I thought that was unfair. And Manny Pacquiao thought so too. And that's why he's so eager and excited and motivated to show everyone that he's still here.
Well, also, Mike, and we continue to point out the elephant in the room, but the fact that Floyd Mayweather was courtside yesterday at the Clippers game during Filipino Heritage Night, Floyd doesn't do things without being calculated. Pacquiao was there at Staples Center. He's obviously here working out, but they went over. They had some pleasantries. The last time that happened was 4 years ago, and then the biggest fight of all time got made. Make no mistake about it, Pacquiao wants Floyd the rematch. We'll see if Floyd is enticed to come out of retirement. But first things first, Pacquiao must deal with Adrien Broner next Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view.
Yeah, and Adrien Broner is a guy that's fancied himself as a Floyd Mayweather protege. Tries to fight out of that Floyd Mayweather style with the shoulder roll. Doesn't do it nearly as good as the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr., but he fights out of that certain stance. And as Freddie Roach told us before, Manny Pacquiao's going to have to search and find Adrien Broner in that ring, who's going to be probably backing up, trying to find his angles, trying to pick and choose his spots. Pacquiao likes when someone comes to him, but he's going to have to go and find him, and I think he will.
Well, it'll be curious to see, Mike, because Freddie Roach proclaimed that he loves that Pacquiao he enjoys guys that come to him. With this fight, he's going to have to go find Adrien Broner, and Broner's going to have to fight during spurts. So that'll be telling. How will Pacquiao respond in terms of, at least to our eyes, he must be the aggressor, that being Pacquiao. Broner is more of a counterpuncher, but he can't wait too long to get himself going.
Manny Pacquiao's fought plenty of counterpunchers during his illustrious career. You think of Floyd Mayweather Jr., who he did hurt in that round 4, like we said. Juan Manuel Marquez, who he had 4 fights with, is one of the greatest counterpunchers of this or any era. Of course, Marquez caught Pacquiao with that overhand right in that 4th fight and knocked him out. But Pacquiao had plenty of success in the early rounds, and Marquez is twice the counterpuncher Adrien Broner is. I don't see Pacquiao having too many problems being, leading in this fight, being the aggressor. He's used to it. He's fine with it, even if he does prefer someone to come to him.
Well, and from Broner's standpoint, that, Broner has been, there are times where he can be abrasive towards the media and fans because he feels like he isn't getting his just and his due credit. He is a 4-division world champion, that being Adrien Broner. And Leonard Ellerby told us that Broner has a chip on his shoulder, that he's all about business. So we'll see if AB actually goes ahead and follows through on what he has been discussing, because I know that Kevin Cunningham has him in tip-top shape.
This is really the last chance for Adrien Broner, and I know we've heard it a million times before.
Is it? Is it? Or, well, I mean, look, he's still a name. People, you either want to see him lose or you want to see him win. There's no in-between when it comes to the overall consensus about Adrien Broner.
This is Adrien Broner's first pay-per-view main event. But it's hard to see Broner getting back to that stage if he doesn't show up against Pacquiao. He doesn't necessarily have to win, but he has to do something memorable, whether it's knock Pacquiao down or win a few rounds, hurt him, just be competitive in this fight. He can't do what he did against Sean Porter and wait till the last second. He can't keep doing that if he wants to be relevant in this sport going forward. We know Broner has the guts, and we know he can dig deep, but can he make this an actual firefight and make it competitive?
He has to start quickly, that being Adrien Broner, because we know what Manny Pacquiao brings. The way I look at Manny Pacquiao is, and I'm going to go back a little bit, I'm going to date myself, is he is a calculated version of the Tasmanian Devil, if we remember cartoon-wise, back in the day. He is calculated, he is all action all the time, and Pacquiao will put he puts together punches in bunches. Broner is selective. He cannot wait that long because we know that Pacquiao is going to bring a ton of punches and his volume will be up.
We see Manny Pacquiao doing that right now. Look how much snap is on his punches. He's generating tons of leverage, sitting down on the shots. Going with that, there's that left hand to the chest that Freddie Roach mentioned earlier. The one he said hurt him. He said he still has a sore on his chest from that punch. He's doing it right now. And he looks incredibly sharp. It looks like he's really peaking just 10 days out from the fight.
Well, I think it's fair to say it, and our crew did a great job of looking, and Freddie Roach was pointing out the calf muscles of Manny Pacquiao. I don't think Manny Pacquiao misses too many leg days at the gym. I skip them every once in a while, Mike, but I don't think Manny Pacquiao skips too many leg days. I mean, look at those calves. My goodness.
Yeah, he's doing his calf raises for sure. Even the forearms, he's in tip-top shape. He's working on his angles right now, and that's what you're going to have to do against a fighter like Adrien Broner, who stands in there and just waits and sits back. He's going to have to open up that guard for Adrien Broner if Broner doesn't want to take chances himself. Come in with that jab, the southpaw jab, and then slide around. Just move around Adrien Broner and pick and choose his spots, hit him to the body. The body shots, to me, are the key to the fight for Pacquiao.
Well, I think they could be the key for Adrien Broner as well, because at 40 years of age, the head will move, the body will not. Broner is going to have to try to use his youth to his advantage, and that is attack the body. Get Manny Pacquiao to start to slow down even half a step to a step. That way Broner can counter him better, but easier said than none when it comes to the 8-division world champion.
Adrien Broner has great hand speed. I don't think that's going to be the issue for Broner. The problem is Broner's foot speed. Broner's a flat-footed fighter. He's not really on the balls of his feet. And Manny Pacquiao has some of the best. Look at it right now. That foot speed is still there. Can Broner keep up with that foot speed? Can he move with him?
Well, talking about the foot speed, but also look at what Pacquiao is doing. It's simple combinations. It's the one jab followed by the straight left. It's the jab that he's working on. Too many times, and look, I've never been in the ring, but this is just my best observation. Too many times we see guys hitting the pads, and they're putting together 30 or 40 punch combinations. That's not normal. A guy's not going to stand in front of you for a 30 or 40 punch combination. It's the simplicity of those 3 and 4 punch combinations which have been the calling card along with that straight left by Manny Pacquiao.
Totally agree, Ray. We see too much of that these days. This showy pad work that Floyd Mayweather popularized. It looks great. It looks cool for YouTube videos, but is it really that effective?
But there's only one Floyd is my thing. There's only one Floyd, and he did it. No one else can at that level.
And that's Adrien Broner's problem. He tried to be Floyd Mayweather Jr. He needs to be Adrien Broner in this fight. He needs to stand in the pocket with Manny Pacquiao, and when Pacquiao punches, just punch with him and hope your punch gets there first. Because Broner can crack. We've seen it against Marcos Maidana.
Well, he put Sean Porter on the deck in the 12th round. Sean Porter is a very tough guy, world champion, beat Danny Garcia. We've seen him here on Showtime Championship Boxing. To be able to flip a switch and put down Sean Porter, that just goes to show you how talented Adrien Broner is.
Can Adrien Broner have that switch flipped on for the entire fight, not just for a moment here, a moment there, a sliver of time here? Broner showed it against Marcos Maidana, too. That was a loss. He hurt Maidana a couple of times. I was told that after the fight, Maidana was in the locker room with Robert Garcia. He asked Robert who won the fight, and Robert Garcia laughed, and he goes, no, I don't remember the rest of the fight. And Broner has heavy hands. He has dynamite in those hands. He just has to let the hands go. I know we've said it a million times, but it's so important.
And look, for all the criticism that Adrien Broner has gotten, and a lot of it has been warranted, the one thing that cannot be said is he has a ton of heart. Adrien Broner has climbed off the deck against Marcos Maidana, as you pointed out, and he is always there in the fight, a dangerous adversary. So you can't say that Adrien Broner is a quitter. Is he a model citizen? No. But how many pro athletes truly are model citizens? Let's be honest, Mike.
I'm not looking for my athletes to be model citizens either. What Broner does out of the ring,
that's his
business. I agree there. Broner has to come and just be focused for the entire fight. I know that's not easy. We've seen fighters like Zab Judah comes to mind, one of the most talented fighters of the past, decade or before that. But just can never really put it all together. Would show flashes of brilliance, but would lose that focus here, lose it there, and you can't lose focus against Manny Pacquiao.
No question about it. Now Manny taking photos. I don't know if he's done just yet, but it appears as if this abbreviated workout session is coming to a close, and looking forward to talking with the 8th Division World Champion here on Showtime. As our social media pages, as privileged to see the 8th Division World Champion, the senator from the Philippines. Looking forward to catching up with the recent 40-year-old. He turned 40 years old on December 17th, had the president of the Philippines present at his birthday party in the Philippines, and once again reunited with Freddie Roach. Buboy Fernandez is his lead trainer still for this second straight fight, but Freddie Roach is back in his corner. They have been together for 15 years. Manny Pacquiao, the 4th time he's been on Showtime pay-per-view. He is fighting at the MGM Grand Garden Arena next Saturday, January 19th. Call your local cable or a satellite provider for availability. Also has Justin Fortune, his strength and conditioning coach, with him as well. And this is a Manny Pacquiao that they say age is but a number, and if he performs anywhere near to what his conditioning looks like, then he could certainly have a quality and extend his career into his 40s at the highest level.
What a sports story that would be, too, if we could see Manny Pacquiao just roll over Broner. Not saying he will, I don't think he will, but if he could do that, that would be one of the biggest sports stories of 2019. And I don't want to count Adrien Broner out. I know he's going to bring it, and the one thing Broner can't be disregarded for is his charisma. He's here to sell the fight. He's one of the biggest names in boxing, no matter what. He's a personality, and I think he's the perfect foil for Manny Pacquiao's first fight with PBC.
Well, Manny Pacquiao is loved by sports fans based on his style, his energy, and now here's Manny Pacquiao showing off the abs, and my goodness, I am jealous. Talk about a chiseled Manny Pacquiao. There we go. There is Manny Pacquiao. Look at that. My goodness. I don't think he's had too many carbs recently, Mike. I mean, that is a chiseled Manny Pacquiao.
Must be on the paleo diet or something, but...
Yeah, he might be on the keto diet. My goodness, look at that.
He looks better than ever aesthetically. And, you know, look at that pose. It's like he's almost done this a few times before.
He's a mean Manny Pacquiao. He's smiling, but you're almost starting to see that switch, that he's starting to flip that switch and get into fight mode.
Pacquiao's ready. He's excited. He's really excited for this. Look how happy he is. He hasn't done this in a long time. Fighting in Malaysia is not the same as fighting in the United States, fighting in the Las Vegas, in the fight capital.
Well, look, I know that they say that Macau is the Las Vegas of Asia, but there is nothing like Las Vegas on a big fight night. Even Freddie Roach was saying, hey, we love the MGM Grand Garden Arena. That is our home. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, this is his 14th time that he's fought at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. So talk about familiarity when it comes to Pacquiao and his entire team.
Yeah, Pacquiao's done this for so long at this point that everything is just second nature. The runs, the training, the pad work. He can train himself at this point. There's been so much talked about Freddie Roach, Boo Boy. Pacquiao, at this point, look at Bernard Hopkins or Floyd Mayweather. Does Floyd Mayweather really need his dad to tell him what to do? No. But maybe a pointer here, a pointer there. Pacquiao is self-motivated. And, you know, his fight what's going on right here now? A group photo.
It's a group photo.
He always rolls deep, Manny Pacquiao.
He certainly does. They love to have fun. Everyone's, I don't know what they're booing, but everyone's getting in on the photo, the team photo, as we are 10 days away from Pacquiao Broner live on Showtime pay-per-view. Don't forget, if you haven't seen All Access, a wonderful, comprehensive look at what Pacquiao and Broner are doing in preparation for their colossal Showtime pay-per-view matchup. Check it out on social media. It debuted last week on Showtime. I loved it. It's on YouTube, right here on Showtime Championship Boxing, Showtime Sports, the YouTube page, social media pages. Next week, All Access Daily, a look at how the fighters are doing, what they're going through every single day as the lead up January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view. Ray Flores once again alongside Mike Coppinger. Moments away from talking with Manny Pacquiao. Also, big thank you to our entire team here at Showtime for making all of this happen. There's so many people that work tirelessly to make this entire thing go. Steven Espinoza, the president of Showtime Sports, what a marvelous job he has done, the entire team. And lo and behold, we are moments away from talking with the 8-division world champion in Manny Pacquiao, the 4th time he has been on Showtime pay-per-view. And Adrien Broner is his foil, and with Broner, his first time on the marquee from a pay-per-view standpoint. Big opportunity for Broner, but he's got to get past Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, big fights for both guys if they get past it. And I don't want to ignore the undercard because there's pay-per-views you never know what you're going to get. That Badu Jack Marcus Brown light heavyweight fight is an excellent co-feature. It's one of the best pay-per-view undercard fights in recent memory. Light heavyweight title implications there. Whoever wins that fight is going far in one of the deepest divisions in boxing.
Well, I'm excited about that one. Also, Rashid Warren is on the undercard as well. He is a stablemate of Adrien Broner. Rashid Warren, the only 3-time United States Olympian. He was an Olympian in 04, 08, and 2012. Former world champion. And we just await Manny Pacquiao, who will be sitting right here to my left. And Manny Pacquiao, the 8-division world champion, the senator from the Philippines. He went ahead and he turned 40 years of age back on December 17th, as we are privileged to be joined alongside by the current WBA welterweight champion of the world, the 8th division world champion. A
Yes.
happy belated birthday, Manny.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much for joining us. Welcome back here to the United States. How good does it feel to once again be fighting on U.S. soil for the first time in about 2 years?
It's nice to be back here in the United States. It's been a while that I didn't have a fight here, and nice to be back in wild card, training with Freddie Roach and Boboy Fernandez. Excited for the fight.
Yeah, and Freddie Roach and everyone sees, they're marveling at the calf muscles of Manny Pacquiao. I mean, these things are monstrous. That's where your power comes from. What are you doing to get those things so big?
I was a biker before when I was started in boxing, and that's my big.
Yeah, you don't skip many leg days, do you?
I used to bike across the country, and then that's why my cup is as big. And then it just happened that I work hard, discipline myself, and how I prepare to the fight. Not only training but hard work training.
Now you're back with Freddie Roach. You know, Boboy Fernandez is your lead trainer, but you're back with Freddie Roach. Freddie said it was great. It's great to have my best friend back. Can you tell us about the process? You had a fight away from Freddie Roach, which was the Lucas Matisse fight. Now you're back. What led you to reconnecting with your Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach?
Oh, Freddie Roach is always a best trainer, and all the time he's a legend. And just happened that the last fight with Boboy, we did a good job, and we did the adjustment for training, and that's what we apply this training camp, and we told Freddie what we did in the last fight, and this is what we're gonna do. We're not young anymore, so when we push hard in this day, let's say if tomorrow I can recover right away. If I can recover, then push again. And if sometimes, most of the times not, if I work hard today in the gym and tomorrow I'm still tired, so I get my, I let my body rest than pushing myself to training. So that's what I did, and then it's good. The effect is very good.
Did you miss Freddie in your last fight against Lucas Matisse? I know you had a 7th round TKO victory, but did you miss him?
Yeah, I miss it pretty. Freddie never Freddie kick out from Team Pacquiao. We could always consider him as a part of the team, even though he was not there in the last fight.
Against Lucas Matisse, you scored your first knockout in almost 10 years. You showed that aggression that everyone loves, that you became known for. How good did it feel, and how motivated are you to get another knockout?
I'm so motivated for this fight to get another knockout, but I'm not gonna predict for the fight. I will do my best, especially it's challenging to me because this is my first fight at the age of 40. I just celebrated my birthday last December, and then this is my first fight at age of 40. So I was kind of excited and to prove that at age of 40 I can still move and I can still have that skills and to entertain people.
Typically, we hear out of you, Manny, that what you want to do, what you're going to do is you want to put on a good fight, you want everyone to be happy, you want everyone to be healthy. Freddie Roach told us that there is discussion that you were saying that you want the knockout. He says this is something new, that he hasn't really heard from you. When you got the knockout over Lucas Matisse, did that kind of whet your appetite again as to say, this is how it feels? This is a good feeling to be able to knock somebody out?
Yeah. When I knock Matisse out, I feel good. I mean, I remember my early days in my career. I mean, I remember Hatton fight. I remember Cotto fight, like that. So it's good. I mean, it's about time to to prove that I can still knock the guy out, or I can still give my best in the ring.
Adrien Broner is a fighter that likes to stand back there and wait for his opponent to lead, and he likes to counter. How do you open up that guard?
Well, aggressiveness and throwing a lot of punches, and then not careless. I mean, we learned in the past, like I said, we learned in the past with the Marquez fight. So that's experiences I can carry that in the ring.
At 40 years old now, you've been fighting for so long. You've accomplished so much. What do you have to prove?
I have nothing to prove, but I just want to maintain my name in the top, that I can still, at age of 40, it's my privilege and thankful to God because I can still fight, and He gave me a good health like this, and not all boxers that have like this condition at age of 40. I mean, it's about discipline and work hard.
Now, Manny, yesterday at the Clippers game, it was at the Staples Center. It was Filipino Heritage Night. You were honored. And sitting across courtside was Floyd Mayweather. The last time you guys were at a basketball game together, a few months after that, the biggest fight of all time was announced, and you stepped inside the ring with Floyd. That happened here on Showtime pay-per-view. What did you guys tell one another? And if you're successful against Broner, do you think you can course Floyd Mayweather out of retirement for a rematch?
Let me tell you the story, the real story. I was invited. I didn't know that Floyd Mayweather was there. I was invited for Filipino Heritage and to watch the Clippers game. When I sit in the ringside in the courtside, the front row, somebody told me that Floyd Mayweather is here. So I didn't know. I just know when somebody told me there, and then when I'm throwing a T-shirt to the crowd, and I saw him, and I just shake hand with him and say hello, and just continue throwing the shirt. But I really don't have idea that why he was there.
But would you want to fight him again? Is that the fight that you're saying? You know, I know you said that you went into the fight injured with the injured shoulder, but is that a fight that after this one, you're both advised by the same person now, Al Heyman, that you're going to say, I want Floyd again?
Okay, I'm not thinking about the rematch with Floyd Mayweather. I'm not thinking about that fight. My thinking is, my plan is one at a time. Let's finish first this Broner fight and taking care of this business first. And then after that, all I can say is, can we leave that question mark until January 19th.
So we can ask you that question January 20th.
January 19th at night after the fight. Okay.
Speaking of that fight, what is it about Adrien Broner that interests you, that wanted you to take this fight?
We know the style of Adrien Broner, similar with other fighters, and it's kind of Adrien Broner is he's a former champion, and he can. I believe that he can give a good fight, and we can entertain people, the fans. This is challenging, and it's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate and not taking him lightly.
What kind of fight are you expecting? An action-packed one?
Oh yeah. Action and more action. I have to push, and be aggressive.
Manny, do you think you have done, before, earlier in your career, when you were barely endeavoring into politics, it was hard to split your time? Now it seems like it's easier for you to split your time and know when to go ahead and be a politician. You're a senator in the Philippines, and when to be a prize fighter. Do you think you've done a better job of being able to focus your energy squarely on one item or the other?
Yes, I did a good job, especially being a boxer and being a politician. I did a good bills that passed in the third reading in the Senate that helped the Filipino people, and it will help. And also good news, and I able to pass in the third reading the creation of boxing commission in the Philippines. So it's good. Boxing commission. We don't have boxing commission in the Philippines, so this time we are able to pass the bill in third reading a boxing commission.
Well, Manny, thank you so much for the time. We will see you in Las Vegas
Thank you so
in
much.
10 days.
Thank
Manny
you.
Pacquiao, the 8-division world champion, squares off against Adrien Broner next Saturday, January 19th on Showtime pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. On behalf of Manny Pacquiao and Mike Cobbinger, I'm Ray Flores saying we'll see you during Fight Week in Las Vegas. It's Pacquiao, it's Broner, it's Showtime pay-per-view.